everyone, and welcome back to Creature Corner, the GDQ Hotfix show that features runs that primarily feature non-human player characters or protagonists. We've got a really special show for you all tonight because this is N64, Nintendo 64, Creature Collect-a-thon show. We've got Banjo-Kazooie Any Percent by Thunderful coming up first, and then later we're going to have our very first race that Creature Corner has ever had with Donkey Kong 64, Tag Anywhere, no levels early, two-player race between T.J. Blakely and A. Whitmore. So, absolutely stacked show tonight. Y'all aren't going to want to miss a single minute, and neither do I, so let's get started with that run. Hi, Thunderful.
Hello there. Yes, I am Thunderful. I am currently holding the record, actually, in this category for Banjo here. So this should be a very fun run. We also have TSR Stormed as a commentator. He was supposed to do the run here, but he is instead just going to be commentating for me today. So hello there, TSR Storm.
Yo, how's it going?
It's going good. It's a little nerve-wracking, honestly, but
no, you got this. You run this game every day.
It's gonna be great.
Yeah, you're gonna get like it's gonna be great. It's gonna be great.
Yeah, we'll see how it goes, but I guess I'm pretty much good to go. So whenever you guys are ready,
absolutely. Go ahead and give a countdown, and then we'll get started.
Perfect. We will begin on go from 3. 3, 2, 1, go.
Good luck.
Let's do it. Thank you, thank you. So I guess really quick, I'll just start out and say that this any percent run is done with the glitch called FFM. We already preset that up before the run started, so you're going to see some interesting stuff happen right as we enter Mumbo's Mountain, and I'll let Storm take over on what FFM is.
Yeah, so FFM stands for Furnace Fun Moves. So basically we have a file already set that has Furnace Fun unlocked, and we have all our moves that we want unlocked on that file. And then we just die in a minigame square in Furnace Fun, or not die, but game over. And then you can go back to file select, start a run, and then once you enter Mumbo's Mountain, you'll have all the moves in the game. So it's a very, very important trick in this run and saves a lot of time.
Yeah, I think for any percent for sure, it's way more important in time save. I forget exactly how much time it saves, over 100%, but you'll see what we get to do with a lot of the earlier moves. It's actually very, very fun.
There's one move that's like really important for getting into a world early, so we'll be seeing that in a couple minutes here.
Yeah. But the start of the run's pretty standard still.
Yeah.
As you saw, we just skipped a bunch of stuff in Spiral. We don't care about that. It's any percent. We just want to go find Grunty and beat her here, so climb the
fun fact, the Jiggy he just collected is going to be the only Jiggy we're going to be collecting in the entire run.
That's true. That was like a pretty recent change too. Yeah.
Yep.
Say bye.
Yeah. No more dances.
And it's actually thanks to TSR Stormed here because of the way we now do the route. So thank you for making it a 1 Jiggy run, technically.
I mean, it's always been a one. It's always been like a 1 Jiggy run, but I found a new setup for a trick we're going to be doing in a couple minutes. So, yeah, we'll explain that more once we get to it.
Yeah, for sure. Oh, goodbye, Jiggy. We don't need
goodbye. Don't need it. And so the goal of this run is that we need 810 notes to defeat Grunty, because there is no way to skip that final note door. At least RTA. There's been ways and tasks, but not RTA. So yeah, only a robot can do it.
Yeah. Sadly, I have not upgraded yet, so.
Yeah. Doesn't have that cyborg chip yet, unfortunately.
No.
Yeah, gonna have to wait a little while.
Yeah. But yeah, that means we have to go into every world in the game.
Yeah.
So.
The only one we get to thankfully skip, at least there's one we get to skip, which is Winter, right? We don't actually go in there at all for anything. So
yeah, for Collect-a-thons, yeah.
Time save. Yeah. Also, shoutouts to good Ticker the Termite RNG there. I did not need to kill him. That's very nice.
Nice.
Sometimes he'll be all over in those notes, and that's just kind of annoying.
Yeah, something fun to mention is that we're playing on the NTSC 1.0 version of the game, and that actually allows us to climb that tower to get those notes. If you were playing on NTSC 1.1, Japanese, or Xbox, you can't do that. So you'd have to find 6 other notes somewhere else. Or you could do frame perfect jumps up the termite tower if you want, but No.
Not as appealing, no.
Yeah, don't do that.
Because of the slope abuse that we kind of do there.
Yeah.
We don't even need the termite at all this run, so it's very nice.
Yep. So we can skip using those 5 tokens.
Yeah. And another question I got a lot was what I just did there. It's a lot of people are asking, oh, how do you like go down in the water that quickly? And that's called a quick dive. Basically, right now I'm in Talon Trot. And when you're doing the animation to leave Talon Trot, while you're going into water, you just dip right through the water and you go quite a distance, which is pretty cool. So,
yeah, very useful trick for getting underwater really fast. You can also do that with gold feathers as well, but you just don't want to do that in this run. Gold feathers are very sacred, so you gotta conserve and use them wisely. So now we're going to be
start so far.
doing our first level early, Treasure Trove Cove early. So this is a Nintendo 64 exclusive trick where you can clip into this cannon in the lobby here and get into the level early by pretty much jumping out of bounds and swimming up to the loading zone. It's very difficult, so we'll see how Thunder does.
Oh, dear.
Oh, the camera.
Wait.
That's okay.
Almost.
Yeah. Yeah, so we barely just missed the loading zone there. With that beak bust.
We'll just get to see it again.
Yeah.
Much better.
There we go.
Beautiful.
Yeah, this is a very difficult trick, so... Sweet.
So, there is an issue now because I did mess up that trick. I am now down 1 extra life. Now I'm at 3. I should be at 4, so we will have to route that in somewhere else. I'll just have to
top of
keep
Cook
that in
Awkward
mind.
lobby. Like the...
Yeah, most likely. But not the end of the world. It's all good.
Oh, yeah, that's completely fine.
That's what's cool about marathon settings is, in a standard run, you probably just wouldn't ever get to see what that kind of backup looks like. Now we do.
No, because I would have already reset the run by now. But that's good. Yeah. That's one thing that I probably should have been practicing more of is like more backup strats for certain things. So we'll be doing things I most likely won't normally be doing on this run today, but it'll be fun.
Yeah, it'll be fun, yeah.
Okay. So yeah, that's the nice part about not needing any of those jiggies. We just skipped right past that previous room with the TTC puzzle and the Clankers puzzle. So we don't even open the levels. We do some fancy stuff to get in them, and we're good to go.
Yeah, so it saves 2 jiggies to get into TTC early, so it's not that big of a deal compared to the other levels, but it's we got to go fast. Any time saved is appreciated.
Mm-hmm. And here you'll notice I, again, skip bottles entirely. We already have all the abilities because of that setup we did before the run started. Mm-hmm. So no need to talk to him. You can already see the flight pad is already lit up as if we can use it. So you know what? I think I'll use it. We'll probably use it.
Yep. Yeah, that'd probably be a good idea, yeah.
Grab some of these.
Yeah. And then you can also use your beak bomb here, which saves a lot of time navigating.
Oh, yeah.
But yeah, the main collectible of this run, other than notes, is like Mumbo tokens. So we need 45 Mumbo tokens throughout the entire run. 20 for the pumpkin, 25 for the bee. And the pumpkin is important because the pumpkin is required to raise the water level, which allows us to get, into Rusty Bucket Bay and to Cook Awkward, all those levels, so.
Yeah, it would be so nice if we didn't need the pumpkin for later, but yeah, that is an extra 20 tokens. If we could skip needing those 20, that would save so much more time too, but oh well. It's all good. Not the worst TTC so far.
Yeah, just a lot of cleanup here with the notes, trying to get them as fast as possible. Uh-oh. Yeah, you gotta get that.
Excuse me. There's actually a little fun fact about that chest that recently Giant Jigglypuff mentioned. Apparently, if you do what I did and you grab that first token, but then you leave the other token, and I think you like die or you leave the level, apparently the game will just straight up delete that token. Like you will not have the chance to get that token back. Apparently they're connected in some sort of weird way that if you grab the one but not the other and then leave the level, it's just gone.
Yeah, there's another token like that in Clockwood. It's very weird. There's a lot of like weird flag issues in this game.
Yeah. So I was trying to sneak under the Nipper the Crab here. I was trying to sneak under his claw. Sadly, I did not do that right, so I have to go safety strats.
Yeah, it's whatever. That's completely fine.
Didn't want to risk, losing this run to him, though, because that's 6 extra notes in here I would have to actually grab. So
yeah,
that's one thing that's different between consoles is if I were to have died there and didn't grab those notes, I would need to go back and collect all other notes if I had to. We do have backup notes, but if you're on the Xbox console, you could just run back in there, grab the notes. They all save, so
yeah,
it's nice.
Among other major differences, so
yeah. Alrighty.
I think a question that myself and maybe some others in chat might be asking is, you're jumping kind of backwards-ish and getting up these slopes really fast and just going through really fast. What kind of movement does that look like? Like, what are your inputs?
So, in this form here, kind of thing, or
yeah, exactly.
Yeah, in Talent Trot, yeah.
Oh yeah, Talent Trot. I'll explain it maybe in a second. I'm just gonna quickly do this one trick called a bit clip, and I do need just to listen for my audio here. So just give me 1 second. Oh, geez, that's not good. Okay, so I did fail it. I didn't get the frame that I needed. That's unfortunate. I think I was like 1 frame off of the one I needed.
Just get that extra life on top of the... Yeah. And then you can just die if you want.
Yeah. Talent Trot is definitely the fastest form of movement. That's why I'm always in this. I think it's like 600 units you instantly move. That's how much speed you get. Whereas any other form is just not quite as fast. So that's why we're always kind of in that form. I can understand people may not appreciate it because all you hear is roo, roo, roo constantly. But it is the fastest form, so we kind of need it. All right, let's try this again here. I have to do this too, which is unfortunate.
I'm not liking this. Yeah, I'm not liking this.
It's not gonna work. Nope. God, what did I?
Oh no.
That's not good.
That's all right.
I knew this would happen. This is fine.
This is a very difficult trick.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's a really hard trick.
Yeah, this is pretty much like float precise, which just means it's like 100,000th of a unit precise, and you have to get into the exact same spot every time, and it's a very ridiculous trick.
Yeah. Every input counts, so you just need to be very careful with how you do it. I'm not being careful enough, apparently. It's okay. Oh, Grunty. Oh, no. Okay, that's a bit more promising. And there it is. Perfect.
Nice.
And that is a bit clip.
Yep.
Whoa.
All right, so I'll try to explain that. So basically, this game's made up of a bunch of triangles, and between connecting triangles, there's a thing called a seam, and there are floating point rounding errors within the ground, and these are very, very precise. You have to basically generate a setup via like a Python script in order to find these setups, and you have to do the exact same movement every single time in order to get to that spot, and it's very, very difficult. And yeah, and that was actually recently discovered by yours truly, and that saves around 10 seconds over the last setup, which was very complicated. And the last setup is kind of like TTC early, where you have to like go out of bounds, then go underwater and swim into the loading zone, where this one is a little bit more easier.
Yeah, for sure. And you saying it easier, and I still mess it up a few times. It just goes to show how difficult the trick actually is.
Yeah.
To try and do it fast.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. So again, it would obviously be faster to do that the first try.
Definitely.
It's okay.
Hey, I think
Why not
I
third
would
try?
take maybe 40,000 tries to do it. So
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, the thing with those clips too, you would never be able to just like walk up to that spot I was at and just risk it. You could never try and just jump into this hole. It's such a small hole. You would probably win the lottery first before you'd ever jump into the hole. Like it's
Yeah,
so
pretty much. Yeah.
we've got a question about how much BGS early saves in chat.
It's a good question. How many jiggies is the puzzle? Exactly. I forget.
It's like 5, right? So you skip 5 jiggies, and I think we time it to be like, or at least okay. So what we used to do is go into Clanker's Cavern as Banjo, and then do this level as the bee, and you'll see why we do that later. But now we just skip Clankers for later. And I think that saves around like 20 seconds, I think. So it's pretty important.
Yeah, that sounds brilliant. Yeah, because that's probably the next question people have. It's like, why aren't you in Clankers right now? Why'd you just go straight to Bubble Glue? But yeah, we will go to Clankers later. It's technically faster to do it later as the bee transformation.
Yeah.
As like Storm said earlier, we only care about 2 collectibles at this point. It's notes and tokens and nothing else really. Maybe extra lives now at this point too, since I did mess up. So
yeah, I gotta go through this slow maze with the waiting boots, unfortunately.
Yeah.
This section is so cool as the bee though. I wish it was still in, but
I probably could have done the run with that other route, but I know it's not quite as fast.
So I just got to get these final few notes here, and then we're going to be doing a death warp. And death warps are pretty important in this game. Just allows you to go back to the level pad and exit the level pretty fast.
That's why you'll see, in a lot of levels, I'll be kind of at low-ish HP maybe. That's because we line up the damages so we're able to death warp right at the end like we are here. And there we are.
Not bad, not bad.
Yeah, that's actually pretty decent BGS. I would say.
Yeah.
That's okay. Not too bad. Okay.
Then we got another trick upcoming. Freezes you peak early. So this trick only works with Furnace Fun moves. So basically what we're going to be doing is beak bombing into a slope, which will allow us to go out of bounds, and then we can fly into the loading zone for Freezes you peak and enter early without opening it.
Yeah.
It's kind of complicated, but this is one of the more easier earlies. I don't want to jinx it now, but
yeah, no, I would say it arguably is an easier like out of bounds glitch to kind of do, or early, I should say.
Yeah.
But just like anything, you will still find ways to mess it up.
Yeah, I know.
Let's see.
Or the enemy can be in the way. Yeah, there's a lot of stuff that can go wrong, but you got this.
Not this run. It's gonna go perfectly this run, right?
Oh yeah, 100%.
100%. I thought this was any percent.
Oh, that's true. My bad.
Let's see. Oh, Gruntling, where are you? Please don't be in the way. That's a good boy. All right. I think. Hold on. And then we just do one of these. I almost panicked for a second. Look at my feather count, right?
I know, I saw that. I was like, you're supposed to have 7 for safety.
Yeah. I don't know why I'm doing that. This is a marathon setting. I should have more feathers. I shouldn't be doing that.
Yeah, the minimum amount of feathers you need there. Yeah.
It's fine.
you need at least 6, and you had 6, so
Perfect.
we're good though.
Yeah. Also, to those that wanted me to save Boggy, I'm so sorry I can't do that right now. I gotta go fast, so
Yeah, unfortunately. No buggy.
Yeah. The best I could do is just hop over him, and that's about it. So.
Yeah, give him a love tap.
Yeah, exactly. I will say, like, I do enjoy the 100% version of this level versus any percent. Like, any percent, this level is only, like, it's, like, less than 3 minutes long. But I actually do like the mini games they have here compared to, like, Bubble Gloop Swamp with, like, Mr. Vile. The mini games just last way too long.
Mm-hmm.
The race is a lot of fun. But we don't do that because, you know, it's still slow.
Ooh.
I know, I saw that.
That snowball. Whoa,
Oh,
nice.
okay,
that was sick.
Ooh, that
So I
was
did
Nice
get
job.
that. No, that's good. Ugh,
Yeah, that's very precise.
for sure.
let's go. Oh, man. Yeah, I kind of got a haircut there. That was... I don't know why the snowball was that close to me. I thought I was fine, but Snowman says otherwise. Sir Slush does not like...
Yeah, I thought that it was gonna for sure hate you. That was crazy.
That's all good. All right.
So yeah, that would be. I think that's the last time we use a fly pad until the final boss. I think, right? Am I right about that?
That would be correct, yeah.
Yep. So no more flying until the final boss.
Yeah, I think we only use a total of, like, maybe... What is it, 25 feathers or something in this whole run? Like, it's
Yeah.
maybe even less than that. I think it's because I grab extras, so... But yeah, we really don't fly that much, which is kind of nice. Well, not as Banjo and Kazooie.
Yeah.
We will see.
Yep. Yeah, almost done. Just got to get some more notes in the water here, which is pretty complicated. You have to, like, I think the water damages you like every 2 seconds or so. It's pretty difficult to actually get to the end here with the amount of health you want.
Oh, no.
Oh, no.
Oh, that's not good.
Okay. Yeah, just stand still, please.
Oh, no.
Oh, no.
Oh, I'm getting...
Gosh.
I'm getting sniped from both sides. We gotta wait.
Okay, yeah, you're fine. Just, you gotta wait.
Fun fact, you can punch the snowballs to get health back, so that's pretty cool. I need one more. I hear it. Oh, jeez. Oh, no, my health.
Oh, no.
Oh, this is... Okay, I don't know what...
Go to the other side, please. Get away from the snowbed. Yeah, there you go. Stand there. That should be fun.
Perfect.
All right.
This is why you watch live runs,
Now we can
everybody.
grab this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Most intense snowball fight of your life.
Unfortunately, I lost badly.
Yeah, that was a lot of time. Yeah.
See, it's one of those things where I know I shouldn't be standing right... Because there's another Sir Slush throwing another snowball right behind me there, right? I panicked, man. I don't know what to tell you. Gotta say, not the cleanest run I've had. So one thing I'll mention here with this Mumbo, because he just woke up for the very first time. That's where we finally woke him up. He has 2 text boxes that if you don't wake him up there during the death animation of leaving FP there, he will talk to you for sure in the next level in the mansion, which is like a slight time loss. So we want to make sure he wakes up for a moment.
Yeah, just saves a couple seconds.
Yeah.
All right, well, during our next early, and we're going to be doing Mad Monster Mansion early. This is also a bit clip, so very, very precise.
Yeah. Gotta love the precise ones.
Yeah, I got to
There's
open
been
up
like
this gate.
Yeah, kind of a recent way to... I'll see if I can get it good here. Hold on. Nope. Never mind. All good.
Oh, good.
And we can just fall out of bounds. And the reason why we do that is so that the game resets us back to this position, which is the faster way to go rather than running back. So here comes bit clip number 2. Hopefully. Just kidding.
Never mind. Yeah, frame too early. You paused 1 frame too early, unfortunately. Has to do the entire setup again.
So again, bit clips are very precise. You can't just continue where you left off. You need this exact positioning, and you need exact pauses, all this and that to make it work. So fortunately, that was not good. Okay, so now we have frame B.
Yep. This is the slower frame by like about 10 seconds. Oh no.
Okay, so
Thunder.
I am.
I don't even know what happened there. What happened?
Okay, so what happened there was Grunty talked, and you do not want Grunty to talk during bit clip setups. She can cause lag frames. She just causes, like, I can't see sometimes, my visual cues, all that. I was holding down the L, R, and B button to cancel her text, and that makes me let go of crouching. So that was the issue there. That's why I started moving when I shouldn't have. But now we are okay, I hope. Again, we're just doing some pretty precise setups, looking at certain visual cues to be able to make this work. That does not work, so we try again. That does not work, we try again. That does work. 1, 2, 3. We're in.
Sweet.
Let's go.
Woohoo! Let's
Awesome.
Yeah, it's definitely the marathon nerves kicking in, man. I just...
If you want to focus up, and I can talk a little bit about bits and other cool things.
Yeah, absolutely. Go for it.
Yeah, well, your subs, Prime Gaming subs, gift subs, and bits shared on the GDQ Twitch channel help support GDQ Hotfix. If you enjoy watching speedruns, consider subscribing to the channel to get access to our emotes, have ad-free viewing, and chat with other subscribers during our replays. So if you're liking the bit clips, you know what to do. Help support GDQ.
There you go. Perfect. That's convenient. Awesome. So yeah, nothing too special in the mansion. I would say this is probably the hardest level you play as Banjo and Kazooie, just in terms of speed. There's no real tricks to it, so you're mainly relying on just your fast movement to try and save time.
Yep.
So. Oops. Small things like that eventually add up through the mansion. It's
Yeah, it's very movement based.
So I guess another thing I'll mention too is because we only need 810 notes to open up the final door to go beat Grunty, you've probably already noticed we haven't been grabbing every single note out of all the levels. It's actually just not faster to. There are some single notes, like in Treasure Trove Cove, we missed 1 note there. It's just too slow to grab on its own. So we instead just split it up between all the levels that we do go to, and we total up to 810 later.
Yeah, it's the biggest bottleneck in this run is that 810 note door. If there was a skip, you know, it would save so much time. It'd be crazy. Yeah, we're kind of required to go into this level now because we need that pumpkin transformation to raise that water level, which is also something that is kind of being looked into. You know, we got to try to skip that someday, so.
Yeah, for sure.
And, yeah, just the perils of N64, unfortunately. Ooh! Actually, I haven't seen this in a while.
Me neither. It's just has
not that big of a deal. Yeah.
I don't know why I'm jumping like that. He's already waiting.
You don't need the jiggy, so.
Yeah. Hello, Napper. rather than running through the start of the maze, it's actually just faster to jump on top like that. These guys like to laugh at me a lot. Especially at how I'm doing this run.
We're going to do a very precise jump here off this honey hive. He kind of has a cycle where he goes up and down. You can catch it at the right time to jump over and get into the church area.
Go.
And then, yeah, just a lot of cleanup.
All right.
Yep, and now we're going to be transforming into the pumpkin.
I hope I am. That's another.
Oh, yeah, that's true. Oh,
You
no.
don't. You're not guaranteed to, and we will see if my tokens go down in numbers, which they do, thankfully.
Okay, good. Still one more chance, but there's, I think, is it 10%? I always forget. I looked at the code for it. I think it's 10%.
Yeah.
There's a 10% chance you can turn into a washing machine, and it loses you a ton of time, so it's like 10 seconds or something. It's pretty bad.
Oh,
And then there's like a 1% chance that you can turn into a T-Rex. I mean, Mumbo doesn't actually turn you into a T-Rex, but he tries to, and then he says like, oh, I'll save it for the next game. And that loses even more time, so yeah.
that is a wild assortment of creatures? Question mark?
Oh, yeah.
A little bit, yeah. Oops. Yeah, so you have like quite a few transformations in this game. I forget how many total there is between all the levels, but we only use the two of them.
Yeah.
The pumpkin and the bee.
Yeah, the bee is very powerful, and you're going to be seeing that after Click Clock Wood, so. And that's only in a few minutes. Little damage boost there to get that token in that whip crack enemy.
Yeah, you get to use your invincibility frames from the first hit to be able to sneak in a little farther to grab that token, which is very nice.
Yep. Yeah, this run is very token heavy compared to at least 100%, where 100%, like pretty much each token you grab is like only wastes you like 2 seconds. But in this, there's like tokens that lose you like 8 seconds or something. It's pretty crazy. So you have to get 45 Mumbo tokens pretty fast, whereas in 100%, you kind of just get them as you go, and you always usually have enough.
Yeah, and there's the mansion. See, that's one thing I love is when you leave the levels, the door is still closed, right? But you just phase through it as if it's open. It's great.
Yeah, it's great.
And this room here is why the pumpkin is needed, because in order to gain access to the other parts of the lair, we need to hit the water switch inside this little coffin. I don't know if there's any way to get Banjo themselves in here. I think that doorway is just coded for the pumpkin specifically, so.
Yep. Unless we find a way to like wrong warp, I don't think it's happening, unfortunately. I think it's more likely that we just find a way to levitate in the room that's being shown right there, so. RBB lobby.
And in 100% runs, this is where you would have actually reset the console to actually warp yourself back to the start of the lair. We don't do that here for the any % run because we don't need to go back that far. So we just use the pumpkin to run back. So again, this is where a huge time save would come into play. Skipping all this, walk back. It's fun. But honestly, at the same time, I feel like a lot of people love the pumpkin. So here, enjoy the pumpkin for a little bit.
I hate the pumpkin.
Okay, not everyone, sorry.
No, yeah, I hate him. Get him out of the speedrun. He's too slow.
To the pumpkin or disavow the pumpkin in chat.
He's got a cool little backpack and some yellow shorts still. Like, how you gonna hate that?
It's like a nice enough gourd vegetable. I don't know.
Exactly.
Aren't you glad we have pumpkin in this run? Yeah.
Alrighty. So, we did do that out of bounds section in this room to do freeze easy peek early. We technically could go out of bounds again to skip this, but we might as well just open the door. We got enough notes now, so
Yeah.
it's all good.
unfortunately, we can't skip the next note door, which is the 640 note door, but there is a way to skip that, and we'll see that just in a second. But the gist of it is basically you can build up a ton of speed on this ledge near the third water switch, and once you hit the third water switch and then the water is raised for a little bit, you can use that to just jump into the loading zone once you reach out of bounds. So nice. Also a nice quick dive. Yeah, that's very, very cool.
Yeah, it's like a different type of quick dive. It's like the opposite because a cutscene is playing, I guess, and when that's happening, you still just kind of phase through, I guess, in Talon Trot. So it's really weird. But
yeah, that one's pretty difficult. So good job.
Thanks. Because I did not get it many times today in my run. Not all the way down, at least. All right. Break that open.
And then we're going to be doing our 640 skip here.
Got to turn the camera to make it face this way.
Building up a ton of speed here. And then clipping through.
Hello.
Using that out of bounds water to enter the loading zone without opening the note door. Very easy skip.
Very nice. Oh, yeah. Just quickly bob and weave against those guys. Hey, first try leaf jump in a marathon. That's insane. I love it.
Not killing the grublin either. Okay, I see you.
It's because I got so unlucky today that if he is in my way right now, we'll be fine.
The game hears you. They're like, okay, it's time to not agitate. Especially not on Wonderful's birthday. I feel like I've been saying this in chat. I know it's not your birthday.
Happy birthday!
I gotta give him the bone. I gotta help chat out.
Thank you for the happy birthdays, chat. It's not my birthday. It's been a running joke for a while now, but it's all good. All right, so time for another bit clip.
Yep, another bit clip. Same deal.
Yeah. We just got frame B, which is my favorite one, even though it's not the fastest. Looks good. Nice. Grunty, not now. One, two. There it is.
Nice. Okay, getting that first try is very impressive. So, GG's for that.
Let's go.
Yeah, that's the hardest bit clip I think in the entire game. So.
Oh, absolutely. I was struggling so much earlier. That killed a couple of world record pace runs today. Honestly, like I was actually on a very good pace. That trick just killed it. Thankfully, during this run, we got it like first try too, and it's really good.
Yeah.
You're bringing it back. You're gaming. It's awesome.
Bring it back. Yep.
On the one split. Let's go. All right.
So yeah, very long segment here of just getting all these notes in Click Clock Wood. You got to go into spring, and then summer, and then autumn, and then you skip winter, but then you could come back into spring, get the rest of the notes and Mumbo tokens, and transform into the B. And you'll see why we're going to be using the B, because it's very powerful.
Also, shout outs to Click Clock Wood soundtrack because it's a banger. People's favorites.
It's a banger.
Also, shout outs to the B. I know when I played this game, that was definitely my favorite way to go around the levels.
Oh, yeah. Boink. Alrighty. And that's probably why I prefer any percent as a speedrun right now, because the B movement is arguably just the most fun movement for me. I know a lot of people might disagree on that, but if you do control the B really, really well, it can be so much fun to just zoom through the levels.
Yeah.
Just grab what you need real quick.
Yeah, the B is very, very fun.
Alright, so summer is not too bad either. Oops. Again, just grabbing a couple notes here and there, some tokens. Trying to get by some cluckers.
Yeah, very token heavy season here.
You can do a little jump like this to avoid these guys. I should be falling right now. I'm pretty sure that should have hit me. Visually, that did not look right, but okay.
Yeah. All right, scary jump coming up.
All good, all good.
All good, yep. So that, what is it called again?
Snare
bear. Snare bear. That snare bear has a very small hitbox, and it's pretty much only in the middle of the character object, so you can kind of just stand on a part where there's no hitbox and use it to get over there. So it looks very scary, but it's actually very free. So,
and we're gonna see that when we enter fall, because the snare bears in summer are kind of like medium-ish sized, and then the ones in fall are even bigger. So we'll see right when we get into the fall here. It's gonna.
Yep.
You should take damage. It's crazy that you don't, but. Should we help him out? Yeah, let's help him out. Sure. There you go. Go back home. I'll just sneak those on the way out.
Finish up summer here.
Really precise jump here. It's not that precise. They just like Storm said, the hitbox is just so small.
I still go around that snare bear. I'm too scared of that one. For some reason, I'll do the crazy jump at the top of the tree, but that one, yeah, I just don't deal with.
That's fine. Okay, and then this is the snare bear that I was talking about. We'll just gold feather into him and stand right here and just not take damage.
Wow.
Yep.
Great.
Cool.
Yeah, I wish there was a hitbox viewer for this game.
Jump above that thing either.
Nope.
Nope. Yeah, this is a very note-heavy season. I think there's like 48 notes in here or something. It's pretty crazy. So the majority of notes are gonna be in this little area.
Very nice. I love dive bombing onto those 3 notes and just exiting out. So like Storm said earlier, the run is like very kind of gold feather sensitive, I guess you could say. Like we do not grab many gold feathers, but we need them for these snare bears in fall. There is a backup you can do specifically on, I think, maybe all of them, but this one specifically, if I didn't have a gold feather, we could do a little trick to grab them without a gold feather, giving like a ground pound or something, but thankfully we don't have to.
Doing some very scary jumps here. Very laggy area as well.
I'm just gonna get rid of that guy. And another scary guy right here. Yeah, we're good. Thank you, Mr. Buzzbomb. Appreciate that.
Yeah, that guy can be in very odd positions and can just knock you off if you're not careful, so got good RNG there.
I would help out Nabnut, but I need to go grab some notes again real quick, so we'll just leave from there.
Cool slope movement there, heavily abusing the slope timer.
Normally Irie is here, but we do not grab any of the caterpillars and we do not unlock Irie from spring, so we don't see him there.
It's like one of the slowest G's in the game, so and we don't need Eddie, so.
Nope. And time for the final bit clip of the run.
Yeah, if you thought it was over, we got one more. Nice. Yeah, that one is very easy.
It.
First try.
Don't have to do any angle buffers or anything. Just got to go forward because you basically just spawn on the seam. You don't have to, do any crazy bit clip setup to get onto a specific spot. You just have to do your beak bars, do your punch, and do your punch cancels, which punch cancels are just basically like frame perfect cancels out of punches. They're pretty easy to do.
B and then A, like pretty much one after another.
Yeah, and sometimes you can do it in 2 frames, then it messes up the setup, and that's very annoying. You can't really even tell if you do 2-frame punch cancels on that fall bit clip, so it can be very annoying.
I can't believe I grabbed that. I was like not in a good camera angle. Let's go.
All right. Now we have like probably the coolest part of the run coming up is the B, using the B to get all these remaining notes that we skipped.
Let's do it.
B time.
Okay.
Yeah, that's fine.
Soon.
We do have the extra health here, so all good.
Yep.
But I do still need the one on top of...
So yep, no more Momo tokens.
Yep, that's the last one we grabbed. No washi!
No washing machine. Although it would have been funny to get a washing machine.
It would have been. I feel like this marathon run type thing is where you should get those. But...
Yeah, I know, yeah. You gotta showcase everything.
Yeah.
Yeah, make sure to get the extra life as well.
Yeah.
So yeah, Thunder is going to be doing a clip on this 765 note door to go out of bounds and evade the D transformation triggers that block you from using the B outside of this lobby. So yep, it was just that fast, and you can just go anywhere you want now in the lair.
Yep. You can see the ceilings in some rooms just don't exist. You think it's like a black top on the ceiling. Nope, you just fly over it.
Yeah, no ceiling in this room either, so you can just kind of fly up and go out of bounds. Yep. And get into Rusty Bucket Bay. I would say later, not early, but...
yeah, it's definitely late. It's not RBB early at all.
Yeah.
You are quite late.
Yeah, some very cool movement here. You can get into a spot you usually can't get to and then fall down. And get these notes. Yep.
So you can see the B in action. It's quite powerful.
Yeah, very powerful.
All these notes just in like higher up parts. You can just quickly fly to it all. Just so fast.
And doing a clip here to very fast. Okay.
Very good.
Cool. To get into this part of the engine room. And then this is really fast as
favorite
B.
part of the video game, most likely, right? Everyone enjoyed this room thoroughly?
My favorite room in the entire game.
Yeah, yeah, I think so. Yeah. There's been
each
only
room
fun
equally,
memories.
I'm sure.
Yeah, doing basically your entire childhood trauma in less than 30 seconds.
So. Yep. And it's gone.
Yep.
It's all good.
Yay! Speed ran trauma.
Yeah.
Oh, so close. All right. Be careful of some boxes.
Yep.
This crate can sometimes be a bit of a pain, but hopefully we're good. Nice.
Cool.
Awesome. So we need to get hit there for some damage we need to take for later. Ooh, that's a good grab. Okay. And technically, I could get hit one more time by these guys. It would, I think, be ideal. However, there's going to be the kitchen coming up here where one of the guys in there might hit me, and that would just be
nice.
Very bad.
Didn't land there.
Didn't land there either. Let's go.
Yeah,
oh, that is
very impressive. Clean. That's a very, very difficult area.
Awesome.
Yeah, if you land...
Thunderful has entered the building.
Yeah, Thunder pops off with the B, so...
Which is kind of funny, though, because so many of my runs lately have not...
Okay, never mind. Never mind.
I don't want to talk about this. No, we're not. We're not talking about that. Definitely did not mean to miss that.
But yeah, something very important to know with the B is that... Whoa!
Okay.
Is that you...
Pull the brakes.
You always kind of want to be, flying pretty much all the time with the B. If you're walking, it's very slow. It's slower than, talent trap movement, so... Flying is very optimal.
Yeah, there's times where we definitely can't fly and we have to walk, and it will seem slow, but it's still faster to walk at certain parts. I think like the most notable one will be the snippets room in Clankers when we get there. You'd think you'd be able to fly in there to get them faster, but
No.
sadly it's not.
Getting kind of a slow note, honestly. And then come down here and get these notes, and then we're pretty much almost done with RBB, Rusty Bucket Bay.
Yep. Not too bad of a Rusty. Couple mistakes here and there.
Yep. We get these notes in flight. And then since this window has no collision, you can just use it to void out and get back to the start of the level without dying. And obviously
back over the wall once again.
Yep, no ceiling again, so got to use it to get back. The bee, unfortunately, unlike the other transformations, can't go through water, so you have to go around it at all costs.
Yeah.
And you're going to be seeing that a lot in Clanker's Cavern, so.
But before we get to Clankers, we get to go to some... Oh. There we go. Okay. I was actually kind of scared the camera wasn't going to click back to me. I've had that happen a very long time ago. But yeah, there's a little spot in the top of the tree there. You can just fall straight through. There's like a tiny hole, and that's gobies.
Can't ever get up there normally, so just assumed, didn't protect it at all.
I do.
Ooh.
Oh,
No.
Okay.
Okay.
Saved?
Nice. Wow, that's very impressive.
We'll take that.
Very impressive
So,
backup.
Again, landing there would be very bad. You move so slowly. The fact that I was able to save that, that's sweet. I like that.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Never actually saved it like that before, so that's
Never
if you land there,
before. We said it.
Yeah, there you go.
yeah.
Uh-oh, missed a note.
Yeah, I'll go back for that later. It'll be slightly faster later to grab it.
Yeah, I think this is probably my favorite B level is Gobies.
Oh yeah, for
I
sure.
I think it's very, very fun. A lot of movement, a lot of flying, not a lot of walking.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun for sure. My absolute favorite used to be that old route we used to use the bee in Bubble Gloop Swamp, but we've sadly replaced that with this one now, so.
Just a bit faster to do this one.
Oh, I can't fly, okay.
Yeah, that slope is really weird. You can't even do it on this one either, so.
Yeah. That's okay. Your time loss. So it is very important that I had grabbed that extra life at the top of Click Lockwood, because I think we would have already game overed by now, right?
I believe so, yep. Because if you have 0 lives and you void out, it initiates a game over for some reason. Don't know why that happens, but it just does. Very nice.
Oh, yeah.
Very nice. Wow.
Very good.
Amazing.
Awesome.
Some really good sections in the Scobies.
We'll take it. I have one goal in Clankers, and that's going to be to try to get the fast cycle.
That would be
later.
crazy.
It would be crazy. I haven't hit it once before. Like, I haven't gotten it, even like in practice, I don't think. So if we can somehow get that in this run, I would be so amazed.
Oh, almost missed that loading zone.
I know. It'll like clip me back in. Oh.
Yeah. But yeah, we did a little out of bounds thing there where it pushes you out, and you can use that to get into this Ruby's chamber early. So.
Yeah. And I'm just taking some damage because, again, we are death working. That is all we need.
Out of here. We used to do a cool void out here, but unfortunately this new route, it's faster just to die. So, because of just your health allocation.
No need for a shock pad there. We can just fly straight through. Okay.
Yep. One more level.
Yep. definitely the hardest one.
Yep.
As the B movement goes.
I think this is very cool to watch though, because it breaks this level in half. So
yeah,
good luck.
You're gonna see some pretty cool stuff here. Good. Very clean start. Yes,
Very
sir.
nice.
Let's go. Again, just fly over the wall like it doesn't exist.
No ceiling.
Ooh, that's close. That's fine. I almost grabbed that other note too. Wow. See, that part I just love. That's my favorite part of Clank.
Yeah, that's so cool.
All those notes is just so fast. It's so
Very impressive.
As a person, by the way, who has played this game, if you have not played this game in chat, you will know how difficult this game is to control. So all of this is genuinely so impressive to me.
Yep.
And then we just sneak under this little layer of water, and now we're flying under the water. Does that make sense? I don't think so, but that's okay.
That's how it works. It's like the opposite of Ocarina of Time. So if you go out of bounds and go around the water plane, you just won't swim or anything. You won't interact with the water. So yeah, the bee usually can't go underwater, as I said. So
yeah. The moment you actually touch the water and then you're under the water, the game will now think you're a bee under the water. It'll constantly make you try to fly up. But because we flew around that plane, we're just waddling underwater.
Doesn't care.
No. Again, one of those moments where you think, oh, it might be faster to fly. That just sadly isn't. We get the waddle.
Yeah, this level is based on cycles with Clanker's bolt going up and down. And there's like cycles in 10-second intervals. And you have to make it in order to save some time.
Yeah, unfortunately, we will no longer make the fast cycle. I was supposed to grab that note in flight, and I missed it again, just like I did in runs earlier. So
I don't know. I'm a believer. I'm a believer.
Oh,
I think you got this.
Oh, okay. Let's do it then. Let's go.
Yeah.
All right, believer hype.
Oh. And we gotta be very quick. They're chasing us. Run.
No.
Get out of there, little bee.
Yep.
Be careful.
You just go slightly faster than these guys, so it's not as scary as it looks.
Yeah, it's really not. So this is one of those moments where the game is trying to force us out of the water because we entered the water, so we can't stay under the water for very long. Quick little extra life grab in there. That's good. Sadly, there goes the fast bolt cycle. So we were off by like 3 seconds. But not bad. Not bad. That fast bolt cycle is still haunting me to this day. I will make it during one run, but God, it's just so difficult.
All right, saving the jiggy or killing the jiggy?
Now we're kidding. Oh no.
Killing the jiggy? All right.
I guess so. Oops, that's my bad.
So yeah, it's actually faster to grab that jiggy, but sometimes you can just skip it. It's funny.
Sometimes you do what I do and you contemplate your decision. Why did you do that? And I just don't feel like being in here, so we're just gonna go through the wall. And we'll sneak under the water plane again and keep on walking.
Yep. And we're pretty much almost done with collecting our notes.
The last few notes should be in this room. We got to be very careful. This is like really precise inputs, okay?
All right, good luck.
It's really not bad at all.
Yeah, you
the
just
bee's
walk.
just too small that he won't get hit by the blades, so. Then we just deathloop one more time. Perfect.
Yeah. Very important to
bad
death warp and clankers.
Yeah.
Yeah, not too bad at all.
Before we get into the last part of the game here, you mind if we take a quick word, update on some GDQ
absolutely.
stuff? Yeah, absolutely. So I'm sure y'all know that Summer Games Done Quick 2025 is going to be live in Minneapolis from July 6th to the 13th. You can register to attend the event by May 26th. Use !SGDQ in Twitch chat or visit gamesdonequick.com for more information. And on that note, the games list for Summer Games Done Quick 2025 is dropping tomorrow. So if you would like to see that games list, go ahead and follow our socials channels. And I am so hyped. I'm sure y'all are as well.
Let's go. Nice. Can't wait for some good GDQ runs this year. That'll be great.
Yeah, me too.
It's going to be a fantastic event.
Little slide under that clucker. Good.
Yeah.
Okay, so upcoming here with the lovely little quiz show. I not a fan of this lately because well, I'll let Storm kind of explain what the issue with this one is.
Yeah, so basically there's this stupid quiz board that we have to do. We have to answer quiz questions. All of them are RNG based, and we have to get to this very specific square, because if you go into Talon Trot within like a 1 pixel gap between each like square question, you're basically allowed to go into Talon Trot, and then you can answer the death square question incorrectly, and then the game is like supposed to throw you off into the lava. But since you're in Talon Trot, it just doesn't do that, and you can, and the invisible walls for the entire board go down, and then you can just skip Furnace Fun that way. Very, very cool. Yeah. Saves a ton of time. Like, it's ridiculous. Probably
so many bottom answers.
Yikes.
So this counts as a picture question, but we are not on the death square yet, so we're okay. We'll answer this right.
There's a 20% chance you can get a picture question, and that means the trick doesn't work.
And we didn't get one. Let's go.
Nice.
It's a Game Boy, right?
Yeah, Game Boy. There you go.
Darn. Well, we'll just, I don't care to answer the rest of these questions.
Yep, the game is supposed to throw you into the lava, but it doesn't. All the barriers are down, and you can just use that to get right into this next room here. And you can, just attack Grunty if you want to.
Give her a quick look back before we go.
Yeah. Good luck, Peck, yeah. One last trick, probably the hardest trick in the entire run. Maybe. I don't know. It's very nerve-wracking.
I would say so. Dog skip, Door of Grunty skip is very precise.
So this requires 25. Yep, and so this door requires 25 jiggies, and we're going to be skipping them all.
Hopefully. Oh, okay, I'll take a third
What did
try.
I tell
Absolutely.
you? You got it.
Let's go.
There you go.
That was really good. Yeah, we were going through this before, and that's really awesome. Great job.
Yeah,
I'll take it.
That's a frame-perfect trick. I believe it's a Nintendo 64 exclusive, yeah. So you're just basically building up a ton of lag there, and then you can do a frame-perfect jump once you're out of bounds to go back in bounds and then skip the door. Very, very important.
There's like a tiny like hole where we walk into that you can like very visibly see if you zoom into first person, and you can get a frame perfect jump in the air out of bounds, and you can sneak past that door. You save 25 entire jiggies needed.
Yeah.
So very good trick. Oh, you're supposed to get it. There we go. I've been aiming so bad lately on this first part.
Oh, I forgot to mention. So we have 100 eggs right now. It's because we did a hitbox extension to get the 100 egg refill early. It's very easy. You can just peck the door and you can get the egg early.
Yeah. And those feathers that we grabbed on the Freeze Easy Peak scarf, that's basically most of the feathers that we have right now. Like Storm said earlier, we don't need that much flaying in this game right now. So.
Yep. And this battle is pretty much a glorified auto-scroller. It is pretty fun, though.
There is one problem with it, and that's, coming up right here. There's an issue with this Jinjo statue. Yep. Because these cutscenes are now overlapping, because I got the skip, there is a chance we soft lock.
Yep.
There is a chance, and we will find out if these don't work now.
and I kind of want it to happen. Maybe I'm evil, but okay.
Not on that one.
Nope.
We didn't get soft lock.
Nice, amazing. Let's go. Yeah, I believe that's only like a 1.0 thing. I think they patched it on the other versions, so probably won't happen to you if you're playing on like Xbox or something.
Yeah. All right, let's grab some health here because I don't like being at 1 HP. Not doing a very good job of lag reduction. I'm not the worst at it. Almost got the rocket jump.
Yeah, you can do a trick there where if you go into Beak Buster while the cutscene starts, you can like cancel the Beak Buster, you can go flying in the air. It's pretty cool.
Yeah. Little fun fact, you technically don't need to save any Jinjos in this game to unlock this Jinjonator.
Yeah.
Had a gold feather, nice. But we did save one blue one in Mumbo's Mountain. And that was about it, so.
Yeah, and time. GG's.
Nice.
That's better than my PB, so by like 7 seconds.
We did get a 104.18. So
yep.
Yeah.
Very impressive.
5 minutes off record, but I made some. Honestly, the bit clips were like the biggest time losses. That's just how they go in this game. Either you get them or you reset and you go again. So yeah, but GG. There we go. That is Grunty defeated for 80%, and that's the run. Awesome. I don't know if there's any other mentions that we want to say for the run itself, but yeah.
If you want to see an even faster time on the Xbox release of this game, definitely go to speedrun.com and check that out as well.
Yeah, where can everybody find both of you?
So I am at twitch.tv/Funderful. I do these runs absolutely as daily as I can. We're literally trying to push for an even better record. I do currently hold it, but I want to push it down to a 58.39 or better. Currently, we're sitting at a 59.09, so we're almost there. We're getting close.
Almost there.
Yeah.
And you can find me at twitch.tv/TSRstormed. I don't stream that much, but if you want to check out my YouTube as well, I'm youtube.com/TSRstormed. I post a lot of glitches and stuff on there, and you can check that out if you're interested in glitches and that sort of stuff. So.
Quick shout out to my cat Bean. He's been my emotional support this whole time. He's been a very good boy. So shout outs to Bean.
Hi, Bean.
Big shout outs.
Thank you for bringing Bean on camera. We love pets so much here at GDQ and on Creature Corner.
I do too. He's great. Awesome.
Yeah, well, thank you so much for showing this run. It was a whirlwind, absolutely amazing. Thank you so much, both of you, for being here. And if you've been enjoying the show and you want to see more about what we do here on Hotfix, you can go to gamesdonequick.com/hotfix to check out this season's lineup and check out the schedule for an in-depth look at this week's runs. But we're not even done here on Creature Corner tonight. Welcome back to Creature Corner, the GDQ Hotfix show that features games that feature primarily non-human player characters or protagonists. And if you've been enjoying GDQ Hotfix, which I am sure that you have, you can also watch GDQ's AAPI celebration, which will be live this weekend on May 3rd and 4th. Celebrate AAPI Heritage Month with a weekend full of Asian and Pacific Islander speedruns. Use !AAPI in chat for more information. And with that, we are back with our next run. This is Donkey Kong 64, Tag Anywhere, No Levels Early by TJ Blakely and A. Whitmore. Let's get into it.
All right, welcome everyone. This is Xenernicus on the mic here doing commentary. We have two awesome runners on the stream with you. We have Adam Whitmore, or A. Whitmore, and TJ Blakely, or just TJ. And they are the top two runners of this category. We're going to be playing No Levels Early Tag Anywhere mod. Tag Anywhere mod is basically like a popular way to play the game quicker more convenient than the vanilla game. You can switch Kongs at any moment. You have a lot of quality of life features. You'll see as we get into it, but I guess if we're all ready to start, I can count you guys in.
Yeah, I'm all good here.
You ready, Adam?
Same, yeah. I'm good to go.
All right. Then we'll begin the run in 3, 2, 1, go.
Good luck.
Good luck.
Good luck, guys. So, correct me if I'm wrong, but I'll try to summarize what Tag Anywhere is. Like, what are the features of this version of the game? Well, as you've seen, we've just switched right off the bat. Actually, let's start with this. We've begun the game, instead of in the training area, we're starting out in DK Isles. That's because the game has been, we've been given all the moves that you would normally have to unlock via training and purchasing things from shops. So all of that sort of downtime has been cut, and we are ready to go, just collect as much as we need to collect with all the upgrades given to us from the start of the game. It's basically a turbo mode, if you think of it that way. And we don't have to free the Kongs. We have access to all 5 Kongs right away, and we can switch between them. I think it uses the D-pad left and right to switch your Kong at will. I think there are a couple of restrictions in terms of when you cannot switch your Kong if certain UI elements are like on the screen for just when you collect a collectible, it doesn't work. But generally speaking, you see that they're switching to DK because he has the fastest base movement. This is like a relatively new trick called flicker walking, where if you switch the Kongs fast enough near certain wall collisions, you can just go right through. That was like a new find. I think, TJ, you were just messing around with it a couple weeks ago for the first time, right?
Yeah, that's correct. Very new find.
Yeah. So already our route is a little bit unusual here, but mainly because we have access to Lanky Kong, we were able to pick up a few of his DK Isles golden bananas before heading into the first level, Jungle Japes. And you'll see that we go out of bounds a lot in this run. So like TJ just used a trick called Bush Push, and Adam is doing it right now as well, where there are a lot of ways where the wall collision is kind of faulty in this game, and you can, one way or another, get out of bounds. There's also this trick called skew, or skew walking, where you kind of tilt your Kong back while you're swimming and then interrupt the swim in some way. That'll put you like lying down on your back, and that messes with wall collision, so you can just kind of walk straight through most walls in this mode. I'm just realizing how fast things are moving on this version of the Tag Anywhere mod.
I tried doing some practice commentary, and like it's so hard to keep up with everything that's going on.
It is hard to keep up, man. So the thing is, like I run the vanilla game primarily. Like I haven't really messed much with around much on the Tag Anywhere mod, and I'm used to like doing no levels early, the normal category, which is about a half an hour longer than this one. And the first like 5-6 minutes is just a bunch of cutscenes, more or less, to get into the first level, go through the training area and everything. But here we're like 3.5 minutes in, you've already collected 6 or 7 golden bananas, and yeah, we are just flying. So it's fun, but it is going to be hard to fully explain what's going on.
Yeah, there's definitely going to be repeat tricks throughout the run, so if we don't get time to explain something on the first go-round, there's almost definitely going to be like a second or a third chance.
Yeah. All right, so maybe here's a good example to talk a little bit about out-of-bounds mechanics. So if you look at Adam's screen here, A. Whitmore, as he's going through these walls, he's able to keep the height of whatever room you left from, and that is a super useful mechanic that this game has. It's sort of why out of bounds is so helpful. instead of like other games where you might fall into an infinite void or whatever, you can just keep traveling along at the same height that you last left off. So that's really nice. And yeah, TJ's skew lasted like pretty much all the way until going into another loading zone. At that point, the skew walking is reset to normal. But yeah, more features of this Tag Anywhere mod that I can mention. There's a lot of like quality of life, just sort of like ways that the game is sped up in minor ways. So, for example, the 5-second dance that normally happens when you pick up a golden banana is removed in this version. And are there other things? Yes, there are like level intro cutscenes and boss intro cutscenes that are all shortened. There may be other cutscenes that have been shortened.
Yeah,
I probably wouldn't be able to think of all of them off the top of my head.
All the Snides cutscenes, for example, and that is a major change that helps the route like immensely.
Yes, and we had a question in the chat about moves. So yeah, the main difference between this and sort of a regular game run is that in addition to being able to switch Kongs at any time, you start with all the Kongs and you start with all the moves. A lot of the sort of quality of life features that are present in this Tag Anywhere mod are also present in the DK64 randomizer.com. So if this looks like fun and you're also a fan of randomizers, I definitely recommend checking out either or both of DK64 Randomizer and the Tag Anywhere mod. But yeah, so, another flicker walk here from TJ in the underground. Also, I realize I'm commentating off the live stream. I should be looking at the at the less delayed one. Things are happening fast here.
Yeah.
So, I guess, normally with no levels early, I didn't even mention what no levels early means and what's the purpose of the category. Maybe we should talk about that for at least a minute. Mm-hmm. The name suggests that basically we're not allowing ourselves to enter or unlock any levels earlier than intended. What that really means is that we need to collect the sufficient number of golden bananas to bypass or to open up the B lockers that are standing in front of the level entrances. And we also have to defeat the boss of each level and get that boss key to unlock the next level. I don't know if this mod has auto key turn-in like Rando has.
It doesn't. It only turns the key and then it just doesn't play the cutscene afterwards.
Yeah, that's
okay,
correct.
So you still have to visit Kalumzi to give the boss key to him, but there's cutscene removal. Okay. And yeah, speaking of boss keys, I think we're entering the first boss fight in Jungle Japes. That's Armadillo here. And this is a pretty straightforward fight. You just have to hit him 3 times with the TNT barrel. But there is a lot of lag reduction to consider. This game, I think both our runners are playing on N64 console, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Using EverDrive or something like that. And yeah, there's a lot of lag in boss fights generally, and the less you look towards the boss or towards the explosions, the quicker the fight can go. Well, this is maybe one of the only kind of downtime you have, so if there's anything that you want to shout out as the host?
Oh yeah, absolutely. I'm always here yapping about stuff. In fact, Games Done Quick is hiring. If you love creative work and have experience in planning and organizing, apply to be a prize assistant at our mainline events. Visit gamesdonequick.com/jobs by May 11th to apply.
Thanks, Ethan.
Also, it's looking like our runners are pretty close right now. Am I correct?
Yeah. We are both in the Armadillo boss fight at the same time. This boss is probably about 2 minutes long, I don't know. So, I mean, we're within 2 minutes here still.
Yeah, that sounds right.
That's pretty good.
I think it's about like actually 1 minute and 30 minutes long if you do it perfectly.
Okay, so even closer together than that. And yeah, because there's so much stuff to do in this run, and ideally it's like all very back to back tricks. Leads can change probably pretty quickly in a run like this because there's just a lot of tricks rapid fire all the time. This is sort of a notoriously difficult game to optimize as a speedrunner because a lot of tricks are either somewhat inconsistent or just like hard to make all the out of bounds go perfectly first try or as fast as they could theoretically be done. Like if you ever get a chance to watch the tool assisted speedruns of this game, it's crazy how different they look than RTA gameplay for that reason. And also just because there are so many more glitches that they get to abuse. Even though we get to do a lot in the real-time runs as well. Alright, so we're pretty much cleaning up the last couple of quick golden bananas and jungle japes here. I think earlier I talked about, how we have to get enough golden bananas to enter each level as we get to them, and the boss keys to open the next level. Normally in a no levels early run, like not tag anywhere mod, you wouldn't have nearly this many golden bananas out of the first level because you would only have access to DK and Diddy. But since we have all 5 Kongs, we're already getting close to 20 golden bananas, so there's really not going to be any concern about getting past the early game V-lockers. I'm not sure at what point you're going to have sort of like just enough GBs to enter a level. It might be closer to like fungi or caves when you're getting into the 50 and 60.
Yeah, I think like fungi is the earliest that it gets quote unquote close. We enter with 52 and we only need 50 for fungi. Caves is pretty close behind at 66, where we need 65. And then Castle is an exact 80, which is what we need.
Uh-oh.
Good to know. Uh-oh.
I just got a weird crash.
Oh no, Adam.
Oh no.
Oh, that's unfortunate.
At least I'm on X7.
That's good.
Saved.
You have autosave there?
I don't know if it did.
Let us know if we need to cut to break screen and take a sec to figure things out.
Yeah, if you need a moment, Adam, let me know and I can pause.
I haven't entered the file yet.
Yeah, we'll find out in just a minute here.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
If we need to redo anything.
Oh, we're good.
19 GBs, that looks about right.
Yeah, 19 sounds right.
But I'm gonna go to Kilumsy just in case it does. Actually, it doesn't look like it is. Okay, so I'm gonna go into Kilumsy.
I see. So it probably saved everything up until entering Kilumsy.
Yeah, I don't think key 1 is actually saved. Yeah, it doesn't.
I see.
If y'all would like to
Thankfully-
reset the race, we do have that as an option. It's pretty early on.
I guess we could do that. Is it okay with you?
Do you prefer?
Yeah, of course. We will head over to break while we set that up. Welcome back, everybody. Thank you for sticking with us while we figured out that tech, and let's restart that Donkey Kong 64 tag anywhere, no levels early race.
All right, you guys on the file select?
Yep.
Yep.
Should be good to go.
All right, let's go in 3, 2, 1, go.
Good luck again.
All right.
Good luck.
We've got
Good luck, good luck.
Good luck, guys. We've got no levels early tag anywhere mod for you guys. We are starting quick. We have all the Kongs, we have all the moves, we have reduced cutscenes. This should fly by. So, the goal of the run is beat the game without entering any levels early or unlocking or skipping your way into any level, I guess. We need 100 golden bananas. We need all 8 boss keys. That's beating the boss of each level and getting to the end of Hideout Helm. Since we start with all the moves and all the Kongs, the golden bananas are going to come flying fast as soon as we get to Jungle Japes. Actually, we collect a few even before we get there, because there's golden bananas here at Kalumzi. Kalumzi's like the big main guy that we got to free. That's what the boss keys are for. And he opens the next level each time we give him a boss key. That's kind of how it works. So we've got our runners, TJ and Adam Whitmore. They are the top 2 runners of this category. I don't even know who has the record right now because it's changing like every other day. I think TJ got a 128 and Adam has like something close to that too.
130 something.
130. So we can expect a close race out of these guys. And the route is still constantly being refined, evolved. TJ just recently found this tech that you're watching right now called flicker walking, like maybe a couple weeks ago. So yeah, we've got some very modern gameplay and modern routes. Also, we've got phase walks mostly on Adam's side of the gameplay. Actually, I don't know, TJ, if you're planning to use any, but...
No, I won't be. I will do a phase fall. That's about it.
All right. Yeah, I didn't mention earlier, but phase walking is a very useful trick in this game. It's one of the many ways to get out of bounds, but certainly not the only one. As you see, we're just going to jump backwards into a bush and be right through the wall here. So we've got Jungle Japes, first level here. There's a lot of quick golden bananas that are just kind of like either lying out in the open or inside of these very flimsy cages that we will have very many ways of getting into without opening them.
That's a really bad skew.
Okay, yeah, so first big trick here is called skew. Both runners are going to do it a second time, so you'll really get to see what they're doing. So basically, you swim in the water, you angle the Kong upward while you're still swimming, and then you cancel your swim in some way. Normally that would be done either like by going into first person or something, but I think in this mode, you can just tag to the next Kong.
Yeah, that's correct.
And that'll do it. Yeah,
That was cool.
So it's a pretty easy way to get skew. It is hard to get a good skew, though, because especially in shallow water, you don't have a lot of room to work with to tilt your Kong up without accidentally reaching the surface of the water.
Yep.
But when you do it well, your Kong's basically walking on their back, and that breaks collision with walls that you are walking towards. And so we're able to go right through gates and reach the golden bananas that we want to reach. We also, as we go out of bounds here, you'll notice you don't fall down when you go out of bounds. You kind of just keep the height that you had at the last inbounds floor that you were at. So you can take it from this high up area in the back of the level back over to the main area and without needing to like really climb up. And you're just like right where you need to be. It's really cool. And what else? What else can we talk about? Like doing rapid fire commentary this time.
Well, I guess I'll just note that it is very fun and silly to watch the Kongs basically walk on their back, but I would really not want to do that in real life. So it's totally okay.
They're just tired of this
Yes.
game being solid.
Exactly.
All's
Who
being
needs
solid.
that?
Yeah. So we're just gonna go through the wall.
I'll mention, I guess, that most of the time our runners will be choosing DK to get from place to place, but you do have to switch to the respective Kong when you're going to pick up one of their collectibles. So yeah, like the golden banana there for Tiny inside that cage by the water, you know, switching to Tiny to pick it up, switching to Lanky to pick up the ones inside the painting room. Yeah, so a lot of the tagging is for that. And then there is like a cooldown period after you pick up certain collectibles. You can't switch Kongs immediately, but after a few seconds you can go back to rolling around with DK, or whichever Kong is the most convenient, but it's usually DK, unless you're like going up a slope, and then it might be Lanky or Tiny. And Chunky would be like the best for shooting the Kasplats, because his weapon with the coconuts, or not coconuts, the pineapples is the strongest of the Kong's guns. So yeah, you'll see Chunky being used situationally like that. I'm trying to think if there are any other like situational Kong advantages. Maybe you'd like switch to Tiny to Ponytail Twirl across the gap or something.
Yeah.
I don't know if that comes up.
Yep, Ponytail Twirl comes up in a few spots, and then Chunky's Skid Jump, Double Jump, just being ridiculously high compared to most other options, that comes out in a couple spots too.
Good to know. Yeah, if you guys know the DK rap, they say Chunky can't jump high, but he's actually got like the highest jump of the Kongs. It's
yeah.
weird. That they
DK
say
Rap
that.
lied to us?
But he's one hell of a guy, though.
It's
He
true.
is one hell of a guy. That
He
is
is
true.
one hell of a guy. Yeah, I feel like we didn't quite emphasize how important flickering kind of is to the game now, and all of these tricks. Like, Donkey Kong history of speedrunning is so cool. This game used to be so much less broken than it is now.
Oh yeah, the game's come a long way.
For sure. I'm also really enjoying how close this race is at the moment.
Yeah, us both losing skew at the beginning is kind of nice for keeping it close.
Right.
Yeah, I think y'all are only like within 20 seconds or so. It's really, really
I
close.
lost skew from trying to backflip. Sorry.
Oh, yeah, one of the things about skew is like, if you do a regular jump, you'll lose it. So you have to take your movement kind of carefully. If you do crouched jumps, then it is preserved just fine. And there are some other movements that don't break it, like kicks and stuff like that. Oh, TJ's doing a cool trick here. That's called a phase fall. I think Adams seems to be going for it as well. Where this trick I think TJ found or helped to find. Yeah.
Yeah, so I found
way back in 2016 or something.
Yeah, I found phase falling, but I didn't know about certain applications of it. Those would have been found by Ring Rush instead.
I see. But yeah, it's a nice trick. It's similar to the way that you can just swim through certain walls underwater, which we call phase swimming. You can do it without being in the water as long as you are falling out of first person or exiting first person in a like sort of non-standard walking way. Basically, there's a bug in the game's code where the angle that they calculate your facing angle to be when you leave first person is temporarily wrong. And there are ways, and we call that the phase state, when the facing angle is incorrectly calculated, because it basically means that your collision with walls in front of you doesn't work properly in that angle range where the glitch happens. And you can preserve that phase state by either being airborne or doing like fast acceleration movement, which is how phase walking works. Or fortunately, if you're just like swimming in a straight line, that also preserves the phase state. So swimming through walls is the easiest and like the first way that we found to abuse that trick. And then, more than like 15 years later, or I don't know, maybe not that many years, but at least more than 10 years later, then Phase Falling was found, and then another 5 years after that, Phase Walks.
Oh, yeah.
No, Phase Walks were like 2 weeks after Phase Fall.
Yeah, it was.
Well, okay. It feels like 5 years as a RTA runner because we weren't using them outside of the tool-assisted space.
That's fair.
I think it feels like about 17 years later.
Yeah. And technically, I don't know when Phase Swimming was found.
I think it was found since 1999 when this game came out.
That doesn't surprise me.
Yeah, because the main
it is to do.
The reason why I think of it is because it was patched in the later versions.
Yeah, it was definitely known about.
Yeah, it's like one of the glitches that's been known about since way before I even knew about speedrunning and glitches existing. I didn't even knew about falling and walking.
Before you learn how to walk, you learn to phase swim. Normal human development things.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yes. So, anyways, we are just finishing up with Jungle Japes here, and we were doing the boss of Jungle Japes not too long ago, which was the Armadillo fight. So we have the first boss key and ready to unlock level 2, which is Angry Aztec. And because we started with all the Kongs and all the moves, we already have more than enough golden bananas for first couple levels. Normally, like in the base game, you would not. You would have like almost just exactly 15 golden bananas by the time you get to Frantic Factory, which is the 3rd level, and it requires 15 to get in. But here we're not going to have any GB total concerns until Fungi Arcades.
All right, the moment of truth.
Yeah, please don't crash again.
Please do not do it.
Yeah, I'm pretty confident that was just a random crash and not like based on this particular cutscene.
It does like a graphical debug info, which I don't know why it does that. Okay, no crashes. Right. So we're all good.
Hooray!
All good for now. That's good. Yeah, so we're free to make our way up to Angry Aztec here. There's oh, that's interesting. TJ opted to use like Chunky's skid jumps to climb this section. Adam is just using DK.
Oh, we're tied?
We're pretty close. Mm-hmm. I would say maybe 15 seconds apart.
Okay.
Maybe 20
that sounds about
at
right.
most.
Yeah,
something like that.
Pretty close to what it was before the crash, so that's good.
All right, so, and I don't know the route super well for this Tag Anywhere version. I run the regular game quite a lot, and I've been focusing on no levels early recently, trying to see if sub 2 hours is ever going to happen. It's close. I'm sure it will, but
I'm sure it'll happen.
I think will happen someday.
The pieces are all there. It's just putting it together in one run.
Yeah.
But here on the Tag Anywhere version, you guys have just broken the 1.5-hour barrier. And I don't know what your plans are for the category, if you think sub 125 or something like that is coming soon.
No.
It's kind of a fresh route, right?
Yeah, the route's kind of fresh, but I don't think it'll drop down that much. I'm thinking like 126 would be an insane run right now.
Unless there's V6 coming out, which I think is probably a long way.
Yeah, that's probably a ways off.
Assuming that it's the same version that you're playing now.
Right, then I would say 126, probably looking like the God run right now. 127 is actually possible, though.
Cool. Well, best of luck on those times.
Thank you. Are we going up, Dog-a-thon?
Not that time. Let's see if Adam gets the Dog-a-thon rising. It's just a funny cutscene that happens if you hit him quite early when he's flying over.
Oh, that's lame.
Oh, not quite.
It doesn't save any time or do anything other than just look funny.
I mean, it does save time if you hit him early.
Well, yeah. but like the cutscene of just him rising or instantly falling, that alone does not save any time.
Yeah, it doesn't like make the cutscene faster. It just plays how it goes, I guess.
Yeah. Reminder to tag Far Warp 1 after Dog-a-thon just in case.
Oh yeah, just in case it crashes or something.
Well, just in case you accidentally
Or if you like void out somehow.
yeah, like get stuck in Chunky's room or something.
Out. Right. Actually, I probably should do that.
Yeah, like Znern can comment more on this, but there are a good few spots in the route where we could, by some stroke of luck, if you can call it that, just get completely stuck. And in normal NLE, that would basically be run over. In this, we can leave because we have access to the pause menu and like exit level.
Oh yeah.
But it would be a trek to get back.
It would be.
I find it funny that you guys are like using moon kicks to get on top of the temple instead of just rocket barreling. I mean, I guess it is faster.
It is faster.
It's pretty cool.
Faster.
Also, is that... I guess that wasn't the first moon kick of the run, but it's the first one that I kind of noticed. So.
Oh yeah,
cool to see.
Is it?
I don't know. You might have done one in Isles on the way to Aztec or something. But,
I
no,
don't
maybe
think
not.
I did. Yeah, you might be right. That might be the first moon kick of the run.
Yeah, well, moon kicks are a DK specialty, and they're pretty cool. You basically just get to fly slowly through the air. It's like a reduced gravity effect. And we also just saw maybe the first spawn snagged golden banana of the run, which is a trick where you get just outside of a room with a golden banana that spawns from a mini game or something like that, and you pick up the golden banana before loading the room itself, which basically allows you to collect it without doing said mini game. So in that case, it was a tiny golden banana that you would otherwise need to fight off some claptraps. They're like the little barking crocodiles. But because we strategically kept the camera away from facing towards that room until we got just outside of it from out of bounds, then pick up the golden banana without doing a mini-game. And there's a few more of those that might come up in the run. Actually, yeah, do you guys do like the factory spawn snag?
Canon,
the classic piano game
just
one?
canon game.
Oh, okay, so there's one in Galleon when we get there. I'll keep an eye out for it.
Oh, nice.
There's some interesting out-of-bounds routes here that I am not used to seeing. That was an interesting way to get from Cranky's area to the Llama Temple. First, we can roll through the side of this wall, and then, yeah, this is like sort of another feature of how the out-of-bounds movement works. When you are under a floor, sometimes you can like backflip up and gain height on a higher floor, but stay out of bounds. I think in that case, yeah, TJ like took advantage of that, and Adam just did like a first try phase walk to get into the temple.
That was phase fall.
Adam's just a beast at phase walks. Oh, that was phase fall. Never mind. Yeah, I sometimes forget that you could just like switch to Chunky at any moment to do a phase fall instead of a phase walk.
Yeah, just
Okay,
don't.
so we're setting up more skews here. Skew is pretty useful in the Llama Temple to escape the room where you free Lanky. It's also nice that you can just tag to like Diddy or Tiny to get a higher backflip.
It's very, very
when you
helpful
need
there.
it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, otherwise you'd have to go and like height boost over the switch with DK, and it's just kind of annoying.
I mean, it's possible to get in bounds with that, but it's kind of annoying. But without this height boost, I mean.
Yeah.
It's kind of sucky about this version is that we're using sniper scope.
So is that all you do in Aztec?
Yeah.
Okay, makes sense. It's not too different than the levels early I'm used to, because we end at the same spot.
Yeah.
In the back of the Llama Temple.
Yeah, I think normal just does, 5-door temple and maybe Stealthy Snoop?
We don't do Stealthy Snoop.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, sometimes, some of the routes we're doing, Gong Tower and Stealthy Snoop, but the prevailing N64 route does the DK and Diddy 5-door temples instead.
Gotcha.
So yeah, we have a bit of a downtime here, I guess, on the way to factory, unless you guys have some big stuff that I'm not aware of.
No, nothing really big here. I did want to say, though, the reason we don't go and get the 5-door temple GBs or Gong Tower or whatever that normal NLE does is simply they're too long for this route. In normal NLE, I don't know what the threshold is for worthwhile GB, but in Tag Anywhere, it's 45 seconds. Everything has to be ridiculously fast, or else it's just not worth considering.
It's interesting because obviously you still need to get the same total number of golden bananas, but I guess there are certain things that having the instant tags is more advantageous than otherwise.
Yeah, exactly.
And so
Right, so a lot of times if you have to go into a bunch of loading zones, it's just not worthwhile at all in Tag Anywhere, simply because Tag Anywhere doesn't speed up anything to do with loading zones, but can speed up otherwise overworld traversal or just quickly going from point A to point B to get things done.
Right. Also, a big difference is that because you had more than enough golden bananas to pass the early B lockers as soon as you were done with Japes, you're now forced to get some slower things in Japes and Aztec.
Yeah.
Whereas the regular no levels early route would get some slightly slower than average golden bananas just so that you have 15 to get into factory. Ooh, okay, this is pretty interesting to call out. So TJ is doing an orange clip, and these are lag boosted wall clips, basically. When you throw a set of 4 oranges, the game will have them all explode at roughly the same time, and that creates a lag spike. And the way that the game deals with lag spikes is pretty interesting. It actually compensates your movement speed somewhat for the reduced frame rate, so that when you're playing in laggy parts of the game, it doesn't feel so sluggish. You're kind of able to move at a similar real speed even when the frame rate is low. But what that means is your distance traveled per frame is increasing with the laggier that the game gets. And if you can manufacture lag, that increased speed can get you through walls. Okay, we're coming up on probably the coolest boss fight in the whole game, Mad Jack. It's also the most random boss fight because there are 5 switches that can spawn in a couple of, let's just say it could spawn basically nearly anywhere in the platforms. There are ways to sort of minimize the different places that it could spawn to try to make your chances of having the switch appear close to you as good as possible, but there's always going to be an element of luck to this fight. But it's also just generally a tough fight to optimize, and it's in every category because it's one of the only things that's actually required to beat the game, even when you're doing any percent. So a lot of runners practice it a lot to get good at it, and both of you are quite good at this fight, I think. So good luck not getting hit down by the fireballs, because I know how easily that can happen.
Yeah, it doesn't really matter how good you are sometimes. Mad Jack can just decide to throw you a literal curveball. He always throws from his right hand, and if you're moving at the wrong angle, you're just doomed.
Yeah, you have to know what angles are safe to jump past him and what aren't.
I'm in the worst luck.
Oh man. I noticed that you can switch Kongs in this fight. I didn't even realize that it wasn't restricted in boss fights.
It's restricted in Dog-a-thon 2 only.
Funny.
I guess K. Rool as well, but yeah, if we're just talking like the smaller boss fights, then yeah.
Neat.
I mean, you definitely wouldn't want to switch Kongs here, though.
Yeah, I actually entered this fight as Lanky, but I immediately switched to Tiny.
But I like that you're like switching to Chunky to do the slams of the switches. I guess Chunky's slam animation is faster than Tiny's.
Yeah. I'm mainly just scared of getting sniped by fireballs, and so the faster I can slam, the better.
So Adam is doing what we call like the infinite cycle for Mad Jack's jumps, which is pretty cool. It's like you can manipulate which direction Mad Jack will jump towards you next. There's like a preferred axis of movement that he follows, and if he's some number of like diagonal spaces away from you, you can basically keep track of which axis he will move along first and move across him along that axis. So you keep him sort of jumping back and forth in a loop instead of chasing after you and catching up to you. So that will actually speed up the fight because Mad Jack will jump slower if he is like one tile away and about to squash you. And the length of the fight is basically determined by how many jumps. It's like a fixed number of jumps before he stops, basically. And I think with Mad Jack, it actually really like narrowed the lead here, or flipped the lead, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised.
Or, well, now I think you guys are roughly tied again.
There was a point in the boss fight where
cool.
it was almost neck and neck. The animations were happening at the exact same time. So
That's cool.
this is a close race right here.
Yeah, I guess we're skipping by a lot of the slower golden bananas in the factory. Like nothing in the R&D room other than the blueprints worth doing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I would say
Same thing with the testing area. It's a lot of slower stuff there.
this is the longest golden banana in the run, Power Shed. And it's because it's a super long cutscene.
Well, yeah, but the thing is, by doing this, you unlock the access to like 2 or 3 other quick golden bananas that are in the production room that you could technically get without like turning it on, but it's a lot quicker and easier if it is on.
Yeah, absolutely it is.
Especially Chunkies, because that's a really annoying GB to try to get without having the crusher activated. And this golden banana inside the box is just kind of, you can grab it from the side without even breaking the box. There's a lot of golden bananas that just have small special tricks for that one particular golden banana to speed them up, even if it's not like going out of bounds. So in the production room here, most of the Kongs have, I think it's like 1 golden banana for each Kong, plus there's a couple of blueprints in here, so this is a pretty fast room to try to clear out. I wasn't paying too close attention, but I am guessing that you guys did one of those routes where you kind of start the level by taking an out of bounds to the top of the production room, so you've already collected Lanky's golden banana and tagged the high warp 4.
Yeah, we did.
That's correct.
Yeah, that's pretty useful. And then there's Chunkies in the middle here. This is the one that you kind of realistically you needed to do
That's not
the power on
Oh,
to get that.
Right. Okay, that's fine.
You guys both were trying to do something tricky there, and I guess it didn't work out for either of you, but
That's fine.
I guess you were trying to skip a cycle between Chunky's golden banana and reaching the elevator platforms.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah. Normally you have to like wait for the arm to spin all the way around before you can get back over here. But I guess with Tag Anywhere, you could like potentially
that's not great at all.
grab the GB and right away ponytail twirl.
Oh, that's not great at all. Oh, that's huge. That is absolutely huge.
It's okay, you can make it up. I'll probably fail Cannon Game spawn snag.
Yeah, Production Room is one of the like more tricky platforming sections of the game. There's not a whole lot of like dangerous platforming in DK64, but this is definitely one of them.
Yeah, I would say more than dangerous, it's just like really costly in terms of time to fail any sorts of platforming inside a Production Room there.
So I guess here's a question. If everybody watching or if people are watching and they're like, this looks really, really fun. I want to do something like this. How do they get involved in the speedrunning community or possibly even the randomizer community?
Good question. So we have a Twitch channel called DK64 Speedruns where you can watch any kind of special events or community races that we have, and we have a Discord that you can join as well, DK64 Speedrunning. I don't know, should I link that in the chat? Would that make sense?
I don't think the link will work, but
on Discord.
Yeah, exactly. If you put it on Discord, we can put it in. But we've also shouted out the DK64 Speedruns channel, so if you'd like to follow that, it's right in there.
And then, you mentioned the randomizer. Randomizer is loads of fun. I think this game has one of, if not the best, randomizers active right now. At DK64randomizer.com, you can pick whatever settings you like. You can do standard settings. There's so much that it offers. And one of the things that it offers is Tag Anywhere, which is what this mod is all about, as well as all the other quality of life features such as like reduced cutscenes and all those things. So I don't actually remember where you go to get the Tag Anywhere mod because I haven't been using it much. But I'm sure TJ, you would know.
Actually, I used to know.
I think there is a website somewhere.
Yeah, so like it was on romhacking.net, I believe it was, but I thought that got shut down. I haven't checked it in a while, but if that got shut down, I don't actually know where to tell you to go. If that's still there, though, then you can find it there.
I'm sure if you go to the Discord, then there'll be some people who know where to go
resources.
to start running whatever you want.
Yeah, that's a good answer.
Yeah.
At a minimum, the speedrunning Discord has all the experts and links to find what you need. And it's a very fun game to learn how to speedrun. I mean, I've been running it for years, but we have a number of runners who have learned the speedrun within the last couple of years and have gotten quite good. And TJ, who actually ran this game like sort of primarily about 9-10 years ago, and had like all the world records way back in 2016, came back in the last year to get back into it, and it's awesome to see that. So whether you're a longtime fan or just think it looks fun seeing it for the first time, it's a fun community.
Yeah, even if you're not interested in like learning to speedrun the game yourself, a lot of the glitches are super easy to pull off, and they are very, very gratifying. So I would highly suggest at least playing around with the game. If nothing else, that should be a lot of fun. At least that's what I think.
I fully agree. I actually only got into speedrunning because I had already had fun messing around with the glitches in advance of that.
Same.
Well, there you go.
Oh, this is the other big spawn snag. I had been kind of zoning out and not commentating on the gameplay for a while, but here we are in Galleon, and the way that we picked up the golden banana with Chunky from Out of Bounds, that is a spawn snag. That's from the room where you would normally have to shoot a cannonball at 3 targets. And I guess that would save like 20 to 30 seconds. Galleon has a lot of swimming, so of course it also has a lot of base swimming through walls. So it's actually one of the more convenient levels, I think, when it comes to quick GB pickups.
And I would love to agree with you there if this were the previous iteration of the route. So, we used to spend like 10, 11 minutes in Galleon because, yes, what Znern said is absolutely correct. There are a ton of GBs that you can quite easily grab in Galleon. The problem is that a lot of them are behind loading zones of some sort. And like I mentioned previously, loading zones are absolutely the enemy of this speedrun.
Yeah, maybe this is one of those levels that isn't as relatively fast on Tag Anywhere compared to the normal version of the game.
Yeah.
Because I'm also thinking a lot of, like, one of the advantages of this level is that most golden bananas can be collected with minimal moveset, but that isn't an issue here.
Yeah.
And also, like, for all the golden bananas that are isolated in their own sub-rooms, it's not helpful to have Tag Anywhere.
Yeah, exactly. So many of the golden bananas are just like isolated. There's a couple areas where it is really useful to have the Tag Anywhere. Like there's an area called Two-Door Ship where it has a golden banana for Lanky and a bonus barrel for Tiny. And while
that seems like it might be worth doing, but
yeah,
the bonus barrel's kind of slow, maybe.
Yes, unfortunately, the golden banana is pretty quick, but the bonus barrel is pretty slow, despite you going literally right by it.
I think Adam is having a really fun time here.
You can hear that.
Oh, Adam.
This is a pretty tough boss. He does a lot of fireballs and shockwaves.
That first start got me.
Yeah, this boss is a lot of fun when it goes well, but it's very frustrating when it isn't, because basically the stars are always in the same spot. You can see that our runners are like clearly doing a memorized pattern to try to get to them as early as possible. But Puff Toss can sometimes like aim his fireball shots a little bit differently different times that you go through, and so it can be tough to try to like follow a set line but then also react to the fireballs like coming in and sniping you at any moment. Yeah, thankfully we have 3 melons, so we're not going to die on the fight. But yeah, it's a pretty tough boss to get like through the whole thing without getting hit, for sure.
And without missing the stars, of course.
Yeah. The controls in the boat are pretty slippery, I suppose, no pun intended, but it makes it very difficult to properly aim at the stars or to like avoid all the shots that Puff Toss is firing.
Well, that was a fun boss fight.
Yeah.
At least you finished it.
Yeah, at least. I was missing the star on the first one. I was losing my mind. I was like, what? It's all good.
So do you guys also do like the steel race skip in this version?
I considered it if Diddy 5-door ship was faster by 5 seconds, I would have added seal race skip to the route.
Interesting, because I was thinking in the No Levels Early main game route, we don't do it mainly for the fact that you can't pause exit out.
Right.
But yeah, I wasn't sure if it would be worth it in this version.
Yeah.
But I guess it's still just barely like not 45 seconds.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, exactly. The other thing I timed was like, what if we go and free the seal? Because then we're also right over there for that GB, right? But
that's a slow B-Blast course.
Yeah, sure. Even if you get the cutscene skip, it's just not worth it, unfortunately.
And it's not worth it in NLE either. Like actual NLE itself.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, so we've got 48 gold bananas. Yeah, we're basically coming up to level 5, which is fungi, which requires 50. So finally, the golden banana count is starting to sort of line up with what you actually need as a minimum. I think TJ said we'll have 52 on enter fungi.
Yep, provided everything goes well.
Yeah.
You know, like it always does.
This route has that
speedruns.
many like GBs that you're likely to leave behind if you fail a trick.
Yeah, it's basically just like cannon game skip.
I mean, you could still just do the cannon game, but
yes, you could.
yeah. Yeah, I don't know if you have like better backups than that.
Not really. Well, it depends how late you get into the run, I guess. A lot of the fast backups are kind of early on, right? Like tiny splish splash salvage in Japes is not a bad backup, but like that's all the way back in Japes.
Like when are you gonna need an extra GB at that point?
Yeah, exactly, right? So there's that. There's Dartboard and Factory if you choose to do Batty Barrel Bandit and Isles instead of that. You could even do something like, I guess, Diddy 5-Door Igloo later on in Caves would work. Little slow, but it's okay.
Sure. Yeah, that one's even a little slow for the regular NLE.
Yeah.
But yeah, since we're only getting, roughly half of the golden bananas in the game, there's a lot of backups that the runners could get if something were to go wrong or if they were to forget something along the way. So it's a pretty safe run to finish out in that respect.
Yeah, for sure.
There's a lot of good Isles golden bananas here in this segment as we're getting over to Fungi Forest. I particularly like this hunky chunky section with the jumping into golden bananas from underneath.
Yeah, this hunky chunky section hasn't changed in at least a decade, if not more, right?
Yeah, it's like the same in every category other than any percent where you don't have it, of course.
Yeah, exactly. Like I remember doing this in 101 back when I was actively running.
It's still in the 101% category route.
I think it's still in Italy too.
Yep.
Vanilla.
And it's like right as you're going to fungi in both of those cases.
Yeah.
Sometimes we just have like a good route idea and we keep using it. What it also means though is that sometimes if I'm trying to like switch between doing runs of 101% and no levels early, I'll accidentally like get the routes mixed up because they're very similar or like the same for a stretch of the run, and then you have to remember to like go and do something else. Oh, what? Oh, that's funny.
Oh my! I thought.
So
that was bad.
What's happening? Oh,
I forgot you can't tag there.
I'm just finding it funny how with Tag Anywhere, this golden banana in the giant mushroom is suddenly worth doing because you don't have to use the tag barrel in between shooting the 5 different switches.
Yeah, if you had to use the tag barrel, it adds like, 12 seconds, 15 seconds, depending on how many tags you decide you're going to do. Like, it's a lot of time. But because we can just stand where we need to and immediately tag to another Kong, it is worth it. The alternative to going up through the cannons here would be using the rocket barrel to get all the way up. But rocket barrel doesn't get you a golden banana, so. I guess that's not true. You could theoretically do the bonus barrel at the top of the mushroom, but do you really want to see snakes spinning turtles?
I do. What are you talking about?
Well,
it's a long golden banana.
It does sound more fun than it is.
That's fair.
I would say it's more fun to fail it.
Yeah.
It's one of the like few just pure auto-scroller mini-games that this game has. So it's not a particularly challenging one. So most runners tend to be really bored by it. Oh, he's doing another orange It's not an orange clip. It's a lag-assisted distance jump.
Yeah.
Cody Del
Yeah, so
Interesting.
You don't need to throw the oranges. Oh, please. You don't need to throw the oranges there, but I have missed it far too many times without the oranges that I just feel like I should.
Yeah, I mean, that's the cool thing about orange assistance is like, obviously we use it to clip sometimes, but sometimes having lag is helpful just for like crossing large gaps. Because it's the same effect, right? Your movement speed is boosted, so you can jump across farther things.
Out there, I don't need it.
Yeah, Adam was able to pull that off with no oranges, so that's a couple seconds saved.
Yeah, exactly.
And we're
come
going
on.
to use the skew again.
Nice. Doesn't let me kick slide. That's wonderful.
So I just realized, I guess you have no need to like visit the banana ferry in this route at any point. You don't have like shockwave.
Oh, you start with shockwave.
Oh, you start with shockwave.
Yeah.
Yeah, you start.
But you're
with
hardly ever using it, so I didn't even realize that you
Yeah.
you had it.
Yeah, that's fair.
Because you don't need rainbow coins. You tend to like use the Chunky's gun on the Kasplats instead.
Mhm.
Because it's faster than any of the shockwaves.
Yeah, exactly.
In case you noticed, I actually did use shockwave at Diddy's Splat.
Oh, okay. Yeah, Diddy has the fastest shockwave, so that makes sense.
Mhm.
Yeah, this part of the route feels pretty similar to the regular NLE route, but obviously you're just moving through it a lot faster.
Have fun explaining this one, Znern.
Uh-oh.
Oh, well, I could let Adam explain it. He found it.
You take damage the exact same time as you touch Dogadon's body, then the cutscene ends.
Yeah,
Pretty
and
much.
what that means is that without using Chunky, or without doing Hunky Chunky, or without really doing like any of the cycles of this long boss fight, you can just kind of place the barrel down and run into him, and you've suddenly beaten the boss. And this is like one of the most pivotally important tricks that exists in the whole game.
Mm-hmm.
It like overnight completely changed the route for 101%. Unlocks access to the later levels. Like you could do this from the beginning of the game with just DK and barrel throwing.
Yeah.
So yeah, super useful glitch. And it also just like, even in the context of no levels early where you're not using it to sequence break the game, it still saves like, I don't know, 2 to 3 minutes over a pretty long boss fight.
Yeah, that boss fight is super lengthy.
So this is maybe the first Snides visit?
Third. We visited with
Third?
DK and
Okay,
Diddy
I wasn't
earlier.
paying attention. Okay. The idea with Snides visits is basically, as we go through, we're collecting the blueprints off of the Kasplat enemies. Those are useless until you visit Snide, and then you get a golden banana for each blueprint you've collected. So they are generally pretty fast compared to other golden bananas, so we do want to pick up a lot of them, but we have to route it such that we get to visit Snide to earn those golden bananas before we need them to clear the later bead lockers. So like the next level requires 65 golden bananas to get in, and then the one after that requires 80. So we're going to be short if we don't turn in some of the blueprints that we have. But on the flip side, the later you can go without turning a blueprint in, it basically means like the fewer visits to Snide that you would need to do. So ideally, you don't want to like collect only 1 or 2 or 3 blueprints and then turn in Snide and then have to collect more blueprints with the same Kong and turn it into Snide again later.
Yeah, that's completely fair.
Usually we limit it to like 1 visit per Kong, maybe 2 visits with 1 Kong. I think that's the standard route currently. It's like Diddy has the fastest blueprints on average, so we get like, I think all 8 of them and turn in, at least in the regular levels early route, we turn like 4 of them in early and then the other 4 at the end.
Oh yeah.
And all the other Kongs just do 1 turn in like either level 5 or 6.
Yeah, that's fair. In this, I turn in 3 with DK and 3 with Diddy right after Factory. And then I turn in 6 with Tiny.
So it's a bit different than the standard no levels early blueprint route, which doesn't surprise me. Now, you do also have the quality of life cutscene shortening in Snides, so that does incentivize a little bit the ability to revisit Snide.
Yeah, so the Snides cutscene in Tag Anywhere is like 7 seconds or something like that. It's very fast. If you were to go and visit Snides in Isles in regular DK64, you'd be watching the cutscene for 29 whole seconds.
Yeah,
though.
in different Snides have different length cutscenes, and I guess that's the worst one.
Yeah.
So we are once again out of the level and on our way. We're visiting Kalemzy, giving him the boss key. Key 5 is special because it opens up 2 levels. I guess Key 2 also opens up 2 levels, but yeah, this opens up level 6 and 7, so we won't need to see Kalemzy until we're done with Creepy Castle.
And caves.
And, well, caves and castle, but yeah. We'll do the levels in order. And Crystal Caves, you guys had alluded to this before we started as, I guess, the level where you would definitely not want to have any distraction or break, which means I guess it's probably a pretty difficult level, or a level where you have to focus a lot.
Focus a little bit, yeah. It's just like there are a lot of spots where if you had to just suddenly stop, you could very easily lose skew, or you could fail a trick or whatever, just because you'll get the giant Kosha cutscene at a different time, and that could interrupt you, and it's just a bad time all around.
So, for all the quality of life features that Tag Anywhere has, it does not skip the giant Kosha. I don't think it should either.
Yeah.
It's like a staple of the game.
I agree.
So Caves is basically notoriously difficult because of the giant Kosha. It's like a mini boss character that lives in the ceiling of the level, essentially, and is constantly knocking down rocks from above that just, completely threaten to send you careening down into the waters below. And there are many parts of the level where you're like up on a narrow platform and you really would rather not be knocked off of it. So we'll have to take consideration for when the rocks are falling.
Yeah.
Just barely made that. Oh, what are you doing? Okay.
This route is already completely different than the caves route that I'm used to seeing.
Yeah, the biggest problem
boss is done early.
Yeah, the biggest problem with this route is that there is no good Trophenscoff portal anywhere. And that's the
most of them in this level are like high up in weird places.
Yeah, exactly. So we just try and get it done as soon as we can. It's really like the only semi-convenient Trophenscoff portal that we can access. Otherwise, like, 2 of them are in an area of caves that we just don't access ever, and 1 of them is absolutely in an area that we will never access. And I think that's kind of
Giant
it,
boulder
right?
Thing?
Yeah. So like we never go to Giant Boulder. And then
Do you also never go over towards the waterfall?
yeah, exactly. So like,
Oh, okay.
there's only one other portal that we can go to, and that's the one by Snides, which is why we're doing it now.
Yep. And I mean, I guess it's not bad if you plan to like visit Snide here at some point as well.
Unfortunately, we can't do that because Adam has crashed there too many times.
Only crashed there
what?
twice so far.
Twice is too many.
And one on my very, very old PB.
Yeah.
So you've routed around that.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Route is convenient enough to not turn anything in this level.
I am really curious if that is actually has merit to it, or if that is just a coincidence and you decided to not mess with it.
Well, it could be a coincidence, but it's not like it's that much faster to do it here anyways. So it's not that big a deal.
But sure, if you don't need the GBs for castle entry, then why not?
Yeah.
Wait. Plus, you probably want to get like DK's blueprint and castle and stuff.
Yeah, exactly. We're going to be getting a lot of the blueprints in Castle.
Oh, nice. Because normally we don't get that many in regular anime.
Yeah, I think you get what, DK and Diddy? That's a do
Yeah,
you
it's
even
just DK and Diddy at that point.
do you even get Diddies in Castle?
Yes, we
Yes,
do.
we do.
Cool.
So it's the last blueprint that you collect in the run.
Ah, okay, gotcha.
I think we turned Diddy's and DK's in Castle. That's it.
Yeah, that makes sense. I just couldn't remember if you actually got Diddy's in Castle or if you just wait because you wanted to get Diddy's in Isles, since that's Castle Lobby.
We do that on the way into the level.
Yeah, exactly.
Alright, and that's the longest boss fight done, I think.
Oh, the
Right, is
scrolling
this one
boss.
longer than Mad Jack?
I don't know if it's longer than Castle.
Oh, no, wait. Longer than Cutout? I don't know. That's a
I
good point.
think
I
this
guess
one's a
both
bit
Caves and Castle
longer
are pretty
than
long.
that. Actually, I don't know if I would say that. Maybe
They
Cutout was a
both
bit
feel
longer.
pretty long, but
If
yeah,
you don't
I'm
get
not
the
sure.
good luck. Once we
Yeah.
get to that.
Alright. Yeah, man, it's so nice to have this like quick tag anywhere skew method for this level. Way easier than the gun dive variant.
Yeah. I cannot understand why anyone would ever want to do chunky gun skew in games.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's hard. Yeah, it's hard to get skew in case because of him.
Oh, this is kind of fun to see like a midair blueprint kill in Rocket Barrel.
In chat,
Caves is,
we've got word that it is indeed the longest boss fight, and that K-Roll is a close second.
yeah, I wasn't thinking of K-Roll. I was thinking of longest boss.
Yeah.
The final boss
Does
of
it count for
BK64
collecting the key
is
though?
surprisingly long.
Yeah.
Oh, what's going on here?
And unfortunately, Tag Anywhere I don't think makes K-Roll any faster.
No,
Actually, I have no
it does
idea.
not.
No, it doesn't. Everything is the same from the vanilla. The intro itself is not skipped. Pretty much same thing in the tiny phase as well.
Yeah. That's a nice place to have Tag Anywhere, though, is the Lanky blueprint in this level. Because normally Lanky has to... Like, you have to go and tag Warp 5 with a different Kong and then come back with Lanky through the warp.
Yeah.
But here you could just go up with the Rocket Barrel and tag Lanky. This is also really fun to watch, this like skewed ponytail twirl into the ice shield. That's a very satisfying looking route.
Oh, damn it. I screwed it up. I meant to keep skew there.
Do you want it to hold skew longer?
But I'm just gonna do the chunky dunky thing.
Chunky Dunky. That's a great name for a trick.
Yeah. You get that is that you dive and you mash B just like you do swoop through shores. and then you'll eventually clip through the wall or go underneath the wall to clip through.
Oh, okay. It like only works with really shallow water, like in caves.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Oh,
Yeah, caves has a lot of golden bananas in this route, huh?
Yeah, it has a few.
Maybe it's just that it moves very quickly. It's pretty fun to watch this level.
Sub 1. Nice.
Cool. Caves lobby's also great for some quick golden bananas.
Yeah, we grabbed the lanky blueprint before entering there, but we want to grab this GB on the way out, just because you always die there after the GB grab, and that puts you at the exit.
Yeah. So how does the DK Igloo interact with the Tag Anywhere? It looked like you were just like backflipping over the walls with Diddy, but
yeah,
is it just that the walls like don't hurt you as other Kongs?
That's correct. That's actually a vanilla interaction. If you enter there with any Kong other than DK, they just don't take any damage from the walls, whereas DK takes 1 full melon.
That's pretty strange.
Yeah.
Odd.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess glitchless, you wouldn't be able to get into the room as any other Kong anyway.
Right. And even then, they wouldn't be able to collect the GB in the middle, so...
Yeah. Oh, I love that Moonkick strat that Adam's using for the Lava GB.
Moonkick strat? That's beast. Good stuff, Adam.
It's like a ceiling kick where, like, unlike most Moonkicks where you're, like, going on a slope or something...
Yeah. Oh no, it's from the ceiling
jumping
kick.
It's
from the ceiling.
Yeah, it's a ceiling kick. It's unlike most moon kicks where with a ceiling kick you basically are under a short ceiling that like interrupts your jump, and then you can get a moon kick from that. So moon kicks, all you need for a moon kick to work is basically for DK's kick to interrupt the startup of his aerial attack. But usually in order to do that, you have to be either aerialing like into a slope, steep enough slope, or if you're facing backwards, like into the edge of a platform. Those are the most common ways that you see a moonkick work. Oh, ooh.
Nice.
What is going on here with the tree entry? Okay, that's pretty...
Oh yeah, that flicker walk thing.
Oh, the bat!
Oh, the bat got in the way!
Oh, and then I somehow didn't trigger the switch as well. Great.
There are like some really bad hitboxes on these like wall-mounted switches.
Oh,
Sometimes you'll just hit a switch dead
that was
center.
so damn close. I was tapped at the wrong time.
Yeah, some switches, it feels like their hitbox is off-center for some reason. The one near Power Shed, for example, it feels like it's more to the right side than it should be. That's certainly not the only case within this game.
I noticed that, even though you guys are roughly like following the same route, you have a lot of like different trick preferences along the way.
Oh yeah.
This game is really full of like alternative ways of getting the same thing done. Usually that means like lots of different ways to get out of bounds or something along those lines.
Mm-hmm.
Which makes it really fun for learning to speedrun, because if you're struggling with a certain type of trick, you can just like use one of the other ones.
Yeah.
There's almost like nothing really stopping you from breaking the game wide open.
Yeah, exactly. Realistically, you can just use orange clips to go through every single wall, but that's also easier said than done.
Yeah, in my experience, orange clips are not the more practically useful way of getting through walls in most cases, but they do have their niche usages for sure. I still use them in a few places in 101%, but a lot of other runners actually will just like phase walk instead or do like tag rail storage for arcade skip, for example.
Yeah, exactly.
Round 1.
Yeah. But orange clips were discovered in the formative years of my DK64 speedrunning experience, so I have a soft spot for them. They saved me from having to learn the Diddy Aztec early, basically.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
If I recall correctly, Znern, didn't orange clips actually stem from a comment that you made? You said something to the effect of like the stream. Oh, go ahead.
I was in Ring Rush's live stream when he found them. About like I was watching him attempt them, and I'm pretty sure that I suggested try kicking with DK when he was trying to get the B-lock or skip to happen.
Okay, yeah, that's fair. I was thinking a little before that, actually. I think in one of Ring Rush's videos, it had a comment from you saying, why can Diddy make it onto the ship in Galleon? It was something to that effect.
Oh, like just in general noticing the effect of lag on movement?
Yeah, exactly that.
Yeah, but I didn't think to use oranges. Ring Rush thought of that.
Right. Still, that one sentence, that one question, rather, quite literally changed DK64 forever, which is pretty cool to me.
It is pretty cool, yeah.
Very fateful, yeah.
So I think we're wrapping up the 100 golden bananas here. It looks like
pretty close.
This is the last Snides visit. So all the blueprints we've collected are being converted into bananas, and there's like 1 or 2 or 3 at most more golden bananas. There's a fun little clip to drop into the library from above here that's called a ledge clip. We haven't seen too many of those. They used to be more prevalent, but now we have so many other ways of clipping walls that they don't show up very often anymore.
Yeah.
It's basically where a wall and a floor meet. You can, in certain places, move slowly enough to just sort of like fit into the gap at the edge of a ledge. So it's a ledge clip. And what is going on with this trash can? Okay, so this is like mushroom push instead of bush push, I guess. Huh. So DK has like a weirdly shaped hitbox where he's kind of like front heavy in terms of his collision with objects and walls. So if you jump backwards into certain geometry, you can get pushed backwards through a wall by an object that's in front of him. I don't know if this was used in this run, but that works in like Funky's hut in Angry Aztec, for example. It's like a real easy way to get into the bonus barrel and the tunnel behind Funky. It works, of course, in Jungle Japes at the start of the level with the bush. And I guess it works here. Now, you wouldn't normally benefit from this clip other than in Tag Anywhere because you need to be tiny to get the golden banana in the trash can. But it's a cool way that Tag Anywhere can like introduce clips that otherwise wouldn't make sense to use. This looks a lot harder than Bush Push, though, I gotta say.
It does.
It looks like the area that you have to land in is smaller.
I think it's actually really simple. I'm just bad today for some reason.
Well, but the reason I say is because you both had trouble with it.
Oh, no.
If it was just one of you, I wouldn't have thought that.
No, it's definitely not that bad of a trick.
I'm just playing horrible today.
You're doing just fine.
You're actually keeping pretty good pace.
Yeah, y'all are
other than the
pretty good.
Like,
pretty close.
Yeah, I feel like things haven't changed too much since like the fall in the production room.
That puff toss. Of course, falling from the plank. Trying to get the Troffinsk off.
So
other
we're
things.
basically wrapping up BB Castle, doing the boss fight. I wasn't watching the GB count super closely, but we're either at 99 or 100, I think.
Yeah, we're at 100 here.
We're at 100. All right. So the end game is essentially you turn in the remaining boss keys that you have. That unlocks Hideout Helm. Now Hideout Helm, if you've played through like the vanilla game, is actually kind of long. You have to do like 10 mini games, but we're not going to do any of that in this category because we're not trying to collect everything. So the only restriction we have is no levels early. As soon as you're in a level, you can do whatever you want. So as soon as we get into Hideout Helm, we're just going to go out of bounds right away and skip to the end and grab the boss key and get out of there. So Hideout Helm should be done in under 2 minutes, or just about 2 minutes, if we're able to see everything go well. But it's also pretty tough to do fast. I don't even know if Tag Anywhere like is used in Helm, because we usually go through pretty quickly with just DK.
Nah,
Oh,
doesn't really help.
What happened there?
Can I tag in here? I
I'm
can't. I
guessing
cannot.
Tag Anywhere is blocked in the cutout.
That sucked.
What
I wanna be
happened?
Lanky the
Yeah,
whole
well, the-
time. I lost Lanky.
Oh,
Well, at least it doesn't like change much after the fight, because you can just tag back to whoever you wanted.
yeah.
I can't tag someone.
No, but as soon as you're out of the fight,
Oh yeah.
yeah.
Of course, I wanted to be tiny after this anyway. I guess.
Yeah. So the fun thing about this fight, it's a special mechanic, the tag barrel that's in here. It's like not a real tag barrel. It just forces you to the next Kong anytime that you leave the arena, or like if you fire a Kong through the cannon and you don't hit the boss, you'll lose that Kong and get kicked to the next Kong.
Ooh.
And this mechanic is actually useful in other categories because it lets you unlock Kongs that you haven't freed from their cages by coming to this boss fight and basically tossing away Kongs until you're playing as the one you want and then leaving the fight with them.
I actually got a good
So we
luck.
call that cutout Kongs. Ooh. So you got to skip a phase of the fight?
Yep.
That'll help, because I didn't.
Yeah, that's a nice 1 in 4 chance of cutout popping up on the same wall that you can swim out of. The way that phase swimming works, it's like only in a certain angle range you'll get the phase state, and it tends to work out that it's like roughly like 90 degrees. I think it's a little bit more than 90 degrees that it'll actually work on, but in a square shaped room, only one of the 4 walls will be phase swimmable. Oh, we normally turn in 2 keys here, but the key order is like different.
Yeah, you need to
in
turn
Tag
in 3.
Anywhere.
Yeah, since the cutscenes for each of the keys have been removed in Tag Anywhere, the key order is strange. The way key order works in vanilla DK64, and I suppose in this to some extent, is that when you load the area inside of K-Lumsey's cage, it will place the highest number key that you have in your inventory in the slot. And when you go to K-Lumsey, it will then turn in that key. If you reload the area again, then it'll do the next highest and so on and so forth. However, if you turn in a key that does not have a cutscene attached to it, and ergo does not reload the area inside of K-Lumsey, it will instead, place the key that has the lowest number in the key socket instead. And then when you turn that one in, well, the same thing happens, right? If it has a cutscene attached to it, then it reloads the area, puts highest number key in. If no cutscene, then it does not reload the area, puts the lowest number key in.
So normally 7 key 7 would play a cutscene, and then you'd get key 6 turned in next. But because the cutscenes have all been removed in this version, it turns in key 3 in the middle.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Okay. Oh, so okay, this is a different helm route than I was expecting.
Oh, you know me,
So
sir.
let's see. There's a couple different ways to get through helm. TJ will show sort of. I'll call it the right side path out of bounds, and Adam will go the left side path out of bounds. So the right side path that TJ is doing is using terminal clip with Chunky.
Nice.
Oh, TJ nearly did that. Like caught himself on the vine.
By the way,
the right side around Helm is a little slower, but you got to go like around DK's room area.
Yeah.
And then that, if you get past it, then you're able to backflip into the stairs behind the Blastomatic room, and now you're sort of like at the back end of the level. And there's one more out of bounds on this other terminal with the broken screen. And that's a pretty easy gap that you can just jump into and slide through the wall. And that brings you over to key 8. Now we can watch Adam show the slightly faster left side route through Helm. So he's going to use a phase walk to get out of bounds first instead of like going through the lava room, or you could use a phase fall. That might work easier. And then he's going to get a height boost on the pineapple switch. Perfect. And with this height gain, you can take the left side around out of bounds. And so instead of going past like DK's room in the Blastomatic, he'll go towards Chunky's room, which actually has this nice little piece of the floor sticking out of bounds. So that's like, you can jump up to it without going inbounds. You get higher up, and now you're high enough to get to the same hallway that's past the Blastomatic. So yeah, another great example of like the variety of strategies that can get you where you want to go.
Yeah, the path that I
In
took...
this case, Adam's doing the more modern route.
Yes, I was just about to comment that. The path that I took has been known for many, many years. Whereas the path that Adam took is, I suppose it would have just come about with phase walking, right?
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, sort of like
switch
as
kick.
soon as one Kong any % came into the picture, because of switch kick.
Right.
But then phase walk was just like we figured, we can just do this to avoid having to do switch kick. Even though it's not faster, switch kick is just a notoriously unreliable trick.
Yeah.
So replacing it with an alternative way to get out of bounds was nice in most cases. All right, so we are just 1K rule away from being done, and I think that this is roughly like, I don't know, a minute apart between you two. It's pretty close. And things have been pretty smooth for the most part. It's nice to see.
Yeah, it's...
I have not seen the timer or anything. I have no idea what pace you guys are on. But I'll take like a wild guess. So let me think. You guys have like roughly a 130 PB. And a few mistakes have happened here and there. But nothing like too terrible.
Yeah, y'all have been playing really, really great. This has been a fantastic race.
I'm going to say that you guys are getting like 131 and 132 or 133. Something like that.
Pretty close.
Total guess.
I know exactly what pace I'm on.
Yeah, I'm looking at my in-game time. Yeah, 117.
Oh, I guess that I could have used that. Yeah, this game actually has pretty decently accurate in-game timer.
Yeah.
For the minute.
That's rare.
It is, yeah.
Yeah.
Rare.
Especially because compared to like the Banjo games, it's way off compared to RTA.
Right.
Considering we had Banjo-Port, that means Donkey Kong wins. And is the superior game in every aspect. Clearly, right?
Clearly.
This is a joke for Banjo fans. They're both fantastic. What a great show.
They're really all great games, yeah.
Yeah, they absolutely
They're
are.
awesome. Looking forward to that new 3D Donkey Kong game that's coming out in July.
Yeah, I can't wait for that. Another amazing thing in July, SGDQ, by the way.
Oh, yes.
As a reminder, that is going to be from July 6th to 13th. So if you'd like to register, you can do that now. And also, the games list, not the schedule yet, but the games list is dropping tomorrow. So go ahead and follow GDQ on socials and check in on the website to see what games and what runners are going to be included in this year's SGDQ.
It's great to hear. I'll have to see what games are going to be featured this time.
There's a lot of fun stuff. I can promise you that.
Yeah, there always is.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've got to get back to a GDQ sometime soon. I went many times before COVID, and then, of course, it took a break for a couple of years, and I haven't gone since, but I think it's time to return.
The in-person experience is like nothing else. I can absolutely guarantee you that. It's wonderful to watch online as well. We love that everybody is participating in every way they can, but if you want to attend, registration is still open. It's going to be open for a little while longer. It's open till, May 26th. So, yeah, about a month there.
That's pretty good.
Yeah. Live in Minneapolis.
Oh, that's really close.
Yeah, come on by if you can.
I haven't commented on K-Rool, but I think K-Rool is actually one of the more straightforward parts of this speedrun. There aren't any big skips. I guess Diddy Phase, which we just finished on TJ's side, just getting to the meat of it on Adam's side, is probably the most unintended of the fight. Basically,
that hurts.
using the you're like peeking the front of Diddy's peanut pop guns
so
into
much.
the side of the light to shoot the switch on the other side. That wasn't that bad. But Adam has high standards for K-Rool. Adam is the K-Rool world record holder on the N64.
Ooh. Yeah, then I can see why.
Yeah.
I just noticed something.
Yeah.
I'm turning a lot faster than... Oh my god.
Oh, he got a quick light. That's so rare.
Nice.
And it saves like 2 or 3 seconds.
Nice.
It makes K-Rool walk to the next position faster. But it also is like really hard to deal with because you have less time to fly over to the next light. So it's like ideally it saves like 2 seconds maybe, but then like you have to also execute even faster than normal. So it's hard to save those full 2 seconds.
Yeah, what I'm about to say is that since I missed the entering the rocket barrel, when I enter the rocket barrel, when missing it, I actually was able to turn faster.
Really?
Yeah.
Fascinating.
You don't normally... Oh, because you normally enter from a backflip?
Normally I enter it with backflip.
So I know that there's like a weird thing with rocket barrels where if you enter them from a standing attack jump,
Yes.
or like from a moontail, you turn especially slowly.
Yes, that's correct.
But I haven't looked into whether or not there are other varying turning speeds based on like backflip versus jump. So yeah, that'd be interesting to check.
Yeah, it's a good point. I don't think I've ever thought about that.
Yeah, that's...
If there are, it's probably just less of a noticeable difference because compared to the like slow turn, it's really obvious when you have a slow turn.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then lanky phase is pretty much done as intended, but like with most boss fights, a good lag reduction will save you several seconds here, because yeah, the game is just running faster on these kind of things where you're waiting for cycles. If you're looking away from the laggier things, so looking away from K-Rool or away from the center of the arena in this case. And then tiny phase is also really big on the lag reduction. Mostly, the big difference is when you go inside the shoe, you can go into first person and look down at the floor, which runs way faster than if you were to keep the default camera in there. And by way faster, I mean like 20 seconds faster, at least, over the course of just the tiny phase.
Fun fact, if you turn on mono from the game audio menu, or should I say the sound menu, this cutscene here saves 19 frames.
Oh.
I cannot believe that we've been running the game without mono time save for like 20 years. Only recently found that.
Better late than never.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
I'm not sure if I was the biggest fan of that phase where Tiny was like going between Kayla's toes. Yeah, we're back to it. I mean, these games are so wonderfully silly and strange, you know, that kind of came out during this era, but especially Donkey Kong 64. But I don't know, it's doing something to me.
This is always like kind of like a gross area. Yeah,
for
in some ways. I think it helps that we're looking down at the floor most of the time.
True. Lag reduction. Yeah. Gross reduction, too.
Just that you don't have to look at it, too.
Yeah.
Because they also put that, like, green fog effect in that area.
Did they? Hang on, I'm going to look.
Yeah, it's similar to, like, what you have in the castle tunnels.
Yeah, that's it.
Oh, that's funny.
Like the
You're right.
stench of the toes. Yeah.
There you go.
That's why it looks so gross.
I remember I was kind of grossed out when I first saw we're entering Cable's shoe when I was very young.
I don't think I made it this far when I was very young playing this game.
Yeah, I'm with you there, Znern. I couldn't make it past Factory on my own. Not for lack of skill, but because I was terrified of the Crembots.
Really?
Yeah.
I thought you were stuck in Factory because of the arcade.
Nah.
Well, you can go past Factory without beating the arcade. But
Yeah.
I got stuck on Mad Jack for a long time, and I did not realize that Galleon was open at first. But then I also got stuck on Puff Toss for a long time, so... Yeah,
I was stuck in Dogadon 2 for a long time.
Not into the later levels until a bit later.
So I didn't even know how to beat Dogadon 2.
Yeah, actually Dogadon 2 is a pretty tough boss when you're playing it casually. You have like a timer, like a time limit to beat him before the platform sinks into the lava. And man, that is like one of the scariest things as a little kid.
Yeah.
To have happen.
Especially when you think that Primate Punch does more damage. It does not.
Yeah. But I thought it did more damage, just not quickly enough for it to be faster than spamming quick punches. I think an individual Primate Punch does more damage than a regular punch.
It definitely does more damage to normal enemies. I don't know if it does to Dogadon 2.
Ooh, 138.
I'm pretty sure it does, but I don't think... you know what you might be thinking of is the toy monster in Factory. That guy is a set number of hits you have to deal.
Right, that's true.
Regardless of what damage each hit would normally deal to an enemy. But I'm pretty sure Dogadon can take more damage from the stronger punches.
I'm going to have to check that later.
But like damage per second for punches is lower than damage per second of a triple punch.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right, speaking of Primate Punch, we are doing them against K. Rool here. We got 4 punches to do, and that, once the 4th punch lands, will be the end of the run. It's one of the shorter K. Rool phases.
Yeah, it's nice that we get to end K. Rool with a short phase. Is it really
that short? I thought the Diddy phase was
it's under 2 minutes, and
Diddy's definitely shortest, unless you take away the cutscene from DK's.
Diddy's is the shortest. Yeah, that's a good point. I guess Chunky's is average length then, because it's technically like a second or two longer than Lanky's face. Anything feels short after Tiny Phase is done.
Yeah, that's the truth. Tiny Phase being like almost 5 minutes. It's awful.
Yeah. Alrighty.
There we go.
Time for TJ.
GG.
Adam is 3 punches away?
No, 2 punches
2 punches away.
Yeah, Adam definitely kept it close. It was a good race.
Yeah. 2 punches away is like less than a minute, I think.
Yeah, sounds about right.
That's a
Maybe
very,
a
very
minute
close
tops.
race, considering.
Absolutely.
I mean, I only expect the fastest from the 2 fastest runners in the world at this category, so absolutely awesome.
So was I right about 131?
Not quite. It was a 129.33 for me.
Oh my god, you guys are so fast.
Yeah, that's really good.
Oh no!
Splat?
No, I was doing the backflip.
Oh.
Yeah.
For the,
Alright.
for the fun. GG, Adam.
GG, Adam.
Nice run. Oh, so that was like almost a PB, actually. Like only a minute or so off.
Feels like I'm like 30 seconds off on my PB. I think.
Wow.
That's pretty nice.
Yeah, you're
Well,
definitely
gamed really
close
hard.
to yours.
Fun stuff.
Expected to be that close
I
after
guess I'll
falling
have to
for
try
that.
this category at some point. This looks way more fun than regular No Levels Early.
I would love to see you attempt this, Learn. I think
Oh yeah, absolutely.
I think that you could definitely go and push this category as well.
Yeah, it looks fun. I think I have a lot on my plate right now.
Yeah.
And I probably wouldn't pick it up like first thing. I still want to see if we can get sub 2 on the regular No Levels Early
Yeah,
before like starting to really confuse my muscle memory for routes by doing another similar category.
yeah.
But yeah, I'd give it a try at some point.
Well, runners and catch, where can the people find you for more gaming?
Adam, you go first.
I'm sorry? I'm sorry.
Follow Adam at A Whitmore.
Oh, sorry, follow.
on Twitch.
Follow me at twitch.tv/awhitmer. I also post some videos on YouTube. I showed the glitch showcase for this game. It's on my YouTube channel. It's A Whitmore. And I also have a secondary channel for speedrunning as well.
Yeah, for me,
There's a lot of good glitch content to find on both your YouTube channels, actually.
yeah, we both posted a good amount of stuff, I'd say. For me, you can find me at TJ Blakely on Twitch, YouTube, and Blue Sky. A lot like what Adam just said, I go and post stuff to YouTube occasionally, glitches, occasionally offline speedruns, kind of depends. If you want to follow my Twitch, probably going to do DK64 No Logic Randomizer. So if you're interested in that and watching me get impossible seeds, find me there.
And I often run DK64 myself. You can follow me at Zenernicus on YouTube and Twitch. And you can also follow DK64 Speedruns Twitch channel and DK64randomizer.com for the randomizer experience. I think that's all the shout-outs I got. Thanks for having us. This was fun.
Yeah, thank you very much for having us.
Thank you.
Of course, this was incredible. You both got incredible runs, only less than a minute apart from each other and really close to your best. So, we couldn't have asked for a better showcase of this incredible category and of this game. So thank you all for being here. And of course, Chat, if you missed on Out of the Box, which by the way was a PAX East preview showcase of some of the runs that you're going to be seeing at GDQ at PAX East, or Creature Corner, you can stay tuned as we replay both shows after this. Tune in Friday at 7 p.m. Eastern for Do All the Things and Parallel Universe. Bye-bye!